It's Thursday, September 18th.
I think it's safe to say it would be
Canada's
highly unlikely
interim
that you're
parliamentary
going to see
budget
that type of
officer
gap being closed.
says attrition is unlikely to be enough to reduce the size of the public service as federal government workers remain on edge about potential cuts.
ABC has suspended Jimmy Kimmel's late-night show indefinitely after Kimmel accused Republicans of trying to score political points in the wake of Charlie Kirk's assassination.
We try to help educate our customer and help them enjoy coffee. We love coffee, so we want everyone to love it too.
And today's Your Morning Coffee Cam heads to Equator Coffee Roasters in Almonte.
Good morning, I'm Rosie Edden.
And I'm Will Aiello.
And I'm Melissa Lamb. And the CTV Your Morning 20K giveaway continues today. Tune in every hour for the daily code word and your chance to win this $20,000.
Yeah, we're keeping it going all week long. Keep an eye out just a little bit later this hour for today's code word and your chance to get in to win some big money.
Can't deny it. That is a good number, $20,000 all across the country. Good luck to everyone. We begin with unsettling news for public servants on edge about potential job cuts. Canada's interim parliamentary budget officer says it's unlikely that attrition will be enough to reduce the size of the federal public service and meet the government's fiscal targets.
For the order of magnitude that you're looking at, it would be highly unlikely that you'd be able to close a deficit or reach a number that big without the path going through personnel costs. So without some sort of reduction or substantial changes in the composition of the public service.
Prime Minister Mark Carney recently insisted the plan is to rely on retirements and resignations as workers and unions express concern over potential job losses. But the interim PBO, Jason Jacques, tells CTV's Vashi Capellos that will not be enough to meet targets outlined in the Liberals' federal election platform. The platform pledges to eliminate $15 billion a year by 2028 to bring revenues in line with operational spending. The federal finance minister will table the budget on November 4th. Another shakeup to Mark Carney's government. Sources tell CTV News 3 former Trudeau-era ministers are likely headed for diplomatic appointments. Former Defense Minister Bill Blair is set to replace Ralph Goodale as High Commissioner to the UK. Former Energy Minister Jonathan Wilkinson has been offered a post in Brussels as EU ambassador, but according to sources, he's still considering the offer. And former Justice Minister David Lametti, who is currently Principal Secretary to Prime Minister Carney, could possibly be sent to New York to replace Bob Rae as ambassador to the United Nations.
ABC has pulled Jimmy Kimmel's late-night show indefinitely after comments that he made in the wake of Charlie Kirk's assassination.
The MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them.
The decision came just a few hours after the Trump administration official responsible for licensing ABC's local stations publicly pressured the company to punish Kimmel. Free speech and free expression groups immediately condemned ABC, calling the suspension cowardly, while U.S. President Trump celebrated on Truth Social.
Alex Fermenton will not return to the Ottawa Senators when he is eligible to play in the NHL in December.
Have engaged in discussions with the agent, and I think both sides agree that it would be best for everybody for a fresh start for Alex.
So that means not with his organization?
Correct.
This press conference live.
Sens General Manager Steve Staios making the announcement at the Sens' first day of training camp. Formenton was one of 5 players on trial for sexual assault charges stemming from an incident in London, Ontario in 2018. All 5 players were acquitted. They will be eligible to sign contracts on October 15th and will be allowed to play in the league again in December. The Ontario government is expanding pharmacists' power to treat and prescribe medication for more common ailments. These regulatory changes still have to be approved by the Ontario College of Pharmacists, but things like sore throats, calluses and corns, mild headaches, shingles, minor sleep disorders, and even lice could see prescriptions coming directly from pharmacists. The province also wants to allow pharmacists to administer more publicly funded vaccines, including RSV, tetanus, diphtheria, and shingles. The Ontario Pharmacists Association calls this a step in the right direction.
We welcome this. I think this is great for Ontario residents and patients to break down some of the barriers and increase access to very much needed community-based services. And we know that pharmacists are trusted and they can do these things safely and effectively throughout the province.
Even then, there is some criticism coming from doctors who suggest the changes are risky and overlook the years of training doctors have.
Welcome news for homeowners. The Bank of Canada is cutting its interest rate by 25 basis points. It's a move that was widely expected by economists and the mortgage lenders, as the country saw inflation data for August come in at 1.9% year over year. What it means for the first time since March is borrowing money in Canada just got cheaper, which is welcome news for anyone with a variable mortgage or those looking to renew.
From trash to treasure, a group of volunteers at All Saints Anglican Church in Greeley are transforming something most of us throw away into something many who are experiencing homelessness desperately need.
Is just providing a little bit of comfort, one bag at a time.
Every Tuesday night, about 15 volunteers gather, turning plastic milk bags into sleeping mats for those experiencing homelessness.
The group partners with Earth Hub, a local environmental group that collects the bags, diverting more than 460,000 from the landfill since 2019. For them, it's a labor of love, turning plastic pollution into compassion and comfort.
Wow.
Just something like I would never think of. It's like milk bags and using them for a good cause in that way too. It's just like as soon as I saw that story, I just went like, who thought about that first idea?
And just the wonderful people who volunteer their time and do this. It's just incredible.
Very, very nice indeed. Melissa, we got to talk about this forecast. And again, you've been knocking it out of the park. Feels almost like a heat wave. I'm wondering if this is going to continue.
The heat will continue, but we do have some active weather on the way later on this afternoon. So a little bit of change of scenery for us here in the city, where we're just used to pure sunshine and then of course warm weather. Still will be warm, but we could see some active weather in the skies later on this afternoon. Still sitting at 13 degrees here to start off your morning, 15 in Montreal, 11 in Cornwall, so double digits throughout the region to start your day off. Slightly warmer today than it was yesterday at this hour. It is clear out there this morning, so clear skies to start off your day. We will see a little bit of sunshine kick off your morning and early afternoon, but then later on this afternoon around 2 p.m. that's when we could start to see some active weather. So we could see some thunderstorms. We could see a few scattered showers as well. Not going to linger too long and not going to get too wet here in the city as well. Things should clear out around 7, 8 o'clock tonight and then be very clear overnight and more sunshine on the way for tomorrow. So it's really just today and late this afternoon that we have to worry about a few scattered showers or a risk of the thunderstorm, and then it will clear up into your afternoon for Friday. 24 is your daytime high, so temps still above seasonal average for this time of the year, still 19 degrees. So we'll be well above that into your day ahead. 24 is also the high in the valley. We'll sit at 22 today, 23 for Bancroft, 26 over in Trenton as well as in Kemptville, 25 out along the Seaway. You can see most regions could see those scattered showers late this afternoon and risk of thunderstorms as well. So could be a little bit of an icky late afternoon, but the good news is we will still get to see some sunshine early this morning. And then once we get through today, the sun is back for tomorrow, but cooler temps Friday and through Saturday. Average for this time of the year, we've just been well above average for the last couple of weeks that we haven't really seen these more normal temperatures for this time of the year. Nice and sunny though. It's those overnight lows. They're going to be quite cool Friday and through Saturday, dropping down to the single digits and the low single digits. 4 degrees for Friday overnight, 5 overnight for Saturday. As we head into Sunday, the warm weather is back. It'll stay nice and warm next week, but we could see some scattered showers from Monday and through Tuesday. On your roads this morning, here's a live look at your time saver traffic and no major issues east to west. Things are looking pretty decent. A few areas have some fog patches, so just keep that in mind this hour. Here's a live look at our Centennial Glass Sky Cam this morning. It's still dark outside, but the sun will be up at 6:42 a.m. this morning. Currently 6:09, temperature sitting at 13 degrees.
Your morning just got a little brighter. Wake up and start your day with CTV Your Morning, and you could be $20,000 richer. Simply watch CTV Your Morning Ottawa for the daily code word. Then enter it online at ctvottawa.ca for your chance to win. Imagine what you could do with an extra $20,000. CTV Your Morning's $20,000 giveaway. Watch CTV Your Morning Ottawa, weekday morning 6 to 9.
The National Capital Region is jam-packed with incredible experiences you don't want to miss. Hey, I'm Sinead Taylor, your iHeartRadio Weekender, powered by Barrhaven Ford. Get the inside scoop on all the biggest and best events every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on CTV, Move 100, Pure Country 94, TSN 1200, and News Talk 580 CFRA. iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barrhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford dealership, and Ontario's #1 Ford EV dealer.
Dream big with Move 100. Now, dream $20,000 bigger. Listen weekdays for your chance to win $20,000 every week. Dream big, win bigger with Ottawa's Move 100.
Pure Country 94, Ottawa's country music station. Pure access to the biggest stars and the hottest songs. After all the bars are closed. Download the free iHeartRadio app to listen to Pure Country everywhere.
Welcome back to Your Morning. Here are the big stories we are following today. Canada's interim parliamentary budget officer says it's unlikely that attrition will be enough to reduce the size of the federal public service and meet the government's fiscal targets. Ontario Provincial Police are looking for a man wanted on a Canada-wide warrant for a breach of statutory release. The Ontario government is expanding pharmacists' powers to treat and prescribe medication for more common ailments.
And take a look at the forecast throughout the next several days. I know it's felt like summer and it continues on, but as we get into the weekend, a little bit of a dip, but that sunshine will reappear. A perfect condition day for the Red Blacks returning on Saturday. And taking a peek at the roads at this hour, no accidents or collisions to report, but we are starting to see some fog patches develop. So on your roads this morning, just be a little bit extra cautious as we all have reduced visibility out on the roads potentially for the next hour or so. Well, many are basking in the mid-September heat wave because time is of the essence and fall officially arrives next week. Hard to believe we're already there. CTV's Dylan Dyson has more on the businesses seeing some of the benefits.
After a sweltering and dry summer on the links, Ann Keeley is making the most of September golf.
We're so lucky to be able to be out at this time of year. I mean, it's fantastic. We'll golf, maybe go to the pool, have a nice afternoon.
Wednesday's forecast called for a high of 27 degrees, with the humidex pushing that to 30, far exceeding the average temperatures for this time of year.
Temperatures in the mid to high 20s, which several degrees above where you should be this time of year. The normal for this time of year is the high teens, say 18 to 20.
Making golf the hot ticket item as it gets late into the season.
Busy. We probably had one of our busiest summers yet. We're a 9-hole course, so it takes 2 hours to play, and we start at 8 o'clock now with the starting to get darker in the morning.
And on the pickleball courts, things are also heating up in the kitchen.
It's been iffy until about a month ago, and September's been fabulous, so hope it stays that way.
The outlook for this fall appears to be more of the same.
We're expecting the months of September, October, November, the meteorological autumn, to be above normal in terms of temperatures.
That's good news for business at the Mary Dairy.
Mentally, we've made the shift to fall, and we have all our fall flavors like pumpkin cheesecake and cinnamon sugar, but it's not that sweater weather yet. But still, people are coming out for ice cream to get that last, because a lot of times people only go for ice cream in the nice weather, and they stop coming in the winter. So we're still getting long lineups in the evening and people coming out to enjoy the patio.
I love it. It's going to be good even until the end of October. For me, it doesn't have to be sunny.
Winter comes fast enough, right? So we get out as much as we can now.
Dylan Dyson, CTV News.
No, it's just making us smile, that report, that warm weather. It's incredible here in September. Normally, we should see a high of about 19. We're well above that.
And it's been like that for the last couple of weeks. And, you know, we are two people that we love the heat.
Yes.
Being outside, having those summer temperatures kind of dwindle in as long as they can. And it's not like it's overwhelming, right? We're not getting to 30 degrees plus humidity at 35.
Right.
22, 23, feeling like 28. It's just been amazing to be outdoors. And as you heard from the story there, I mean, a little bit lingering of some ice cream visits. Like, that's never a bad thing.
I'm not mad at that. Not at all. Not at all. Like I said, you know what? If you're going to have ice cream, especially in the summer, just let it all hang out. Let it drip down your arm, indulge, enjoy, and it looks like we're still going to be able to do that because of the temperatures. We're talking about melting ice cream. And you know what? I have to tell you this, Will. Over the weekend, I went over to Gatineau Park, and it's starting, but ever so slowly, the fall foliage, the colors are coming. They're starting to burst onto the leaves, like instead of the green, we're seeing a little bit more orange. Did I see a little bit of red? So it's coming. So we may as well enjoy this gorgeous, gorgeous weather.
I agree too, and we have so many beautiful areas around the city to go enjoy as those leaves start changing colors and stuff. It's so beautiful. So as we hold on to the summer temperatures, we're still excited for fall as well.
There you go. Canada's interim parliamentary budget officer says it's unlikely that attrition will be enough to reduce the size of the federal public service and meet the government's fiscal targets.
I think it's safe to say it would be highly unlikely that you're going to see that type of gap being closed simply through attrition.
Prime Minister Mark Carney recently insisted the plan is to rely on retirements and resignations as workers and unions express concern over potential job losses. But the interim PBO, Jason Jacques, tells CTV's Vashi Capellos that will not be enough to meet targets outlined in the Liberals' federal election platform. We're going to check in right now with Bill Carroll from the Morning Rush on News Talk 580 CFRA to hear what he has to say about all of this. Good morning to you, Bill.
Morning. What the Prime Minister said you just quoted there is what stood out to me. He's being a little cagey because he says retirements and resignations. Now, what does he mean by resignations? If the parliamentary budget officer is correct, and he probably is, that you can't do this reduction that they want to do and find these savings through attrition alone. So people are just getting to the end of their term in government. They're working for the government and they're going to retire and maybe work part-time somewhere else, maybe consult, maybe go fishing, I don't know. But what does he mean by resignations? It could mean, and I'm sure it partly means, people leave to go to other jobs. I don't find that happens all that often with the many federal public servants that we all know because we live in Ottawa, the capital. But okay, it could be that. I wonder, though, if he's also talking about enticing some people to resign, to take packages, to leave early, because it's not going to add up, not with the kinds of the cost savings that they're looking for. I just don't see that attrition will do it either. I never have thought that that was going to be part of it. And we're going to have to watch this very closely because in Ottawa, no matter what your political beliefs are or your beliefs about the size of the public service, it's going to hit our city hard. The federal government is the #1 employer in Ottawa, and no one else is even close in second place. So this is going to be a big deal. I'm not saying it doesn't have to be done or we shouldn't do it, but it's going to be a very big deal, and we're going to have to watch it really closely. It's going to have a serious impact on the city of Ottawa's economy.
No doubt about that. Thanks for weighing in, Bill. Have a great show.
You too.
And remember, you can listen to The Morning Rush with Bill Carroll on News Talk 580 CFRA weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m.
Well, coming up next on Your Morning Ottawa, we are talking about some of our local favorite discoveries in the capital this summer. Some that are new to us, maybe some venues and places that we got to check out just a little bit over the last couple of months because there's always some hidden gems in the capital. We are going to take a peek at our GT Cam on George Street, and no sunshine as of yet, but those summer temperatures still rolling through above seasonal for another day. We are sitting at 6:21. Happy Thursday, everybody. Coming up later this morning on Your Morning Ottawa, we are telling you how you can soak up the end of summer at Metcalfe Plaza.
So, in honor of this great new space in the city's downtown core, we are asking you this morning, what was your favorite local discovery of the summer? Let us know your thoughts. Email us at yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca. Oh, so many great new discoveries. I mean, this is a hidden gem. What a beautiful spot. I remember when they came on for the kickoff and I was like, this sounds pretty cool. And I mean, look at this vibe.
I went there for my birthday.
Oh, you did?
It was so much fun. And I bumped into our news writer.
Oh, nice.
Yes, exactly. Zainab. I was like, wait, there's Zainab. It was really just, it is that kind of cool vibe. And you know what's really neat too? Yes, they serve all kinds of beverages and they also serve non-alcoholic beverages. So they made a really nice mocktail for me. I was dancing and sipping on my mocktail and having the best time on my birthday.
I love that.
It was really, really nice. So there's something for everyone there. It's a very, very nice spot. Can I offer another one?
Yes.
Go for it.
Double up.
Kaweki Point.
Okay.
Gorgeous. If you go to the National Gallery of Canada, just behind it, you walk up and it is breathtaking. The view, the serenity, nature, plants, you got it all there. You can just go walk up there and just go, all is good. All is good. I really recommend that.
I love that.
There's nothing better than that. Well, I'm excited to hear, like when you say, can I say another? Keep going, and you keep going, because I've been gone for so long that it is amazing to see how things change and new spots that open up. Like, it's been almost 8 years.
Okay, I'm going to feature another new spot later on this morning. It's called Uplift Adventures. Think of trampolines in the treetops.
What? Okay.
Right? Trampolining in the treetops.
So we're going to see that.
We're going to see that later on this morning. And I took my kids, and it was a new discovery for us and absolutely amazing. So much fun.
So
I'm sold.
All right. We're going to be hearing from you later in the show. We are asking, what was your favorite local discovery this summer? Send us your comments at yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca.
Coming up next on Your Morning Ottawa.
I've learned so much about outreach and the needs downtown.
Repurposing trash into something that feeds the soul. How milk bags are being converted to help the homeless. That's just ahead.
Welcome. I'm Rosie Edda.
And I'm Will Aiello.
And I'm Melissa Lamb.
We begin with unsettling news for public servants on edge about potential job cuts. Canada's interim parliamentary budget officer says it's unlikely that attrition will be enough to reduce the size of the federal public service and meet the government's fiscal targets.
For the order of magnitude that you're looking at, it would be highly unlikely that you'd be able to close a deficit or reach a number that big without the path going through personnel costs. So without some sort of reduction or substantial changes in the composition of the public service.
Prime Minister Mark Carney recently insisted the plan is to rely on retirements and resignations as workers and unions express concern over potential job losses. But the interim PBO, Jason Jacques, tells CTV's Vashi Capellos that will not be enough to meet targets outlined in the Liberals' federal election platform. The platform pledged to eliminate $15 billion a year by 2028 to bring revenues in line with operational spending. The federal finance minister will table the budget on November 4th. Several ministers from former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's government could be leaving politics for diplomatic posts. Former Defence Minister Bill Blair is set to replace Ralph Goodale as High Commissioner to the UK. Former Energy Minister Jonathan Wilkinson has been offered a post in Brussels as EU ambassador, but according to a source, he's still considering the offer. And former Justice Minister David Lametti, who is currently Principal Secretary to Prime Minister Carney, could possibly be sent to New York to replace Bob Rae as ambassador to the United Nations.
ABC has pulled Jimmy Kimmel's late night show indefinitely after comments he made in the wake of Charlie Kirk's assassination.
The MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them.
The decision came just a few hours after the Trump administration official responsible for licensing ABC's local stations publicly pressured the company to punish Kimmel. Free speech and free expression groups immediately condemned ABC, calling the suspension cowardly, while U.S. President Donald Trump celebrated on Truth Social. Here it is. Congratulations to ABC for finally having the courage to do what had to be done. Trump wrote in a post on his Truth Social platform, that leaves Jimmy Fallon and Sept, two total losers on fake news NBC. Their ratings are also horrible. Do it, NBC.
Alex Fermenton will not return to the Ottawa Senators when he is eligible to play in the NHL in December.
I've engaged in discussions with the agent, and I think both sides agree that it would be best for everybody for a fresh start for Alex.
So that means not with this organization?
Correct.
Sens General Manager Steve Staios making the announcement at the Sens' first day of training camp. Fermenton was one of 5 players on trial for sexual assault charges stemming from an incident in London, Ontario in 2018. All 5 players were acquitted. They will be eligible to sign contracts on October 15th and will be allowed to play in the league again in December.
Ontario Provincial Police are looking for a man wanted on a Canada-wide warrant for a breach of statutory release. 34-year-old Abdu Yassif is serving a 2-year sentence for firearms charges. Police say that he's known to frequent Ottawa. He's described as a 6'3" black man with black hair and brown eyes. Anyone with information on his whereabouts is asked to contact Crime Stoppers.
The Ontario government is expanding pharmacists' powers to treat and prescribe medication for more common ailments. These regulatory changes still have to be approved by the Ontario College of Pharmacists, but things like sore throats, calluses, and corns, mild headaches, shingles, minor sleep disorders, and even lice could see prescriptions coming directly from pharmacists. The province also wants to allow pharmacists to administer more publicly funded vaccines, including RSV, tetanus, diphtheria, and shingles. The Ontario Pharmacists Association calls this a step in the right direction.
We welcome this. I think this is great for Ontario residents and patients to break down some of the barriers and increase access to very much needed community-based services. And we know that pharmacists are trusted and they can do these things safely and effectively throughout the province.
Even then, there is some criticism coming from doctors who suggest the changes are risky and overlook the years of training doctors have.
Well, there was welcome news for homeowners. The Bank of Canada cutting its interest rate by 25 basis points. It's a move that was widely expected by economists and mortgage lenders as the country saw inflation data for August come in at 1.9% year over year. It means for the first time since March, borrowing money in Canada just got cheaper, which is welcome news for anyone with a variable mortgage or those looking to renew.
Canadian singer-songwriter Avril Lavigne is starting a new business venture. The 40-year-old from Napanee has teamed up with California winery Banshee Wines to release a limited edition bottle of Pinot Noir. It's named Complicated after her hit song.
And your morning just got a whole lot richer. We are giving away $20K. And guess what? It's time for your daily code word.
Imagine what you could do with an extra 20 grand, a dream vacation, home renovations, paying off bills. The possibilities are endless.
They certainly are. And today's code word is splurge.
Woo.
Head to the contest page on ctvottawa.ca, or you can scan that QR code on your screen that you see on the right side. Enter the code word along with your info for your chance to win CTV Your Morning Ottawa's $20,000 giveaway. Also, though, make sure to tune in tomorrow because we will have a brand new code word. Good luck to all. $20,000. We're up to Thursday. We're almost there.
Yeah. Almost there. And it just does not get old. It's like, oh, okay, give me that code word. Come on, write it down. Don't forget, write it down. Keep note, and you never know.
And each code word has been good. Like today, splurge, because we've had different ideas.
Yes.
throw it all away, have some fun, be a little safe, whatever you want.
Save a little, splurge a little.
Yeah.
The best combination. In your forecast today, we're going to see a little bit of sunshine to start things off. Still seeing a few fog patches out there as well. Some storms into the morning, so thunderstorms into the afternoon, pardon me, and we could see some scattered showers in there as well. Still sitting at 13 degrees this morning. Light winds coming out of the southwest, around 9 kilometers an hour to start off your day. And similar temps across the region in the double digits throughout most of the region today. 11 in Trenton, Kingston, 12 for Brockville, 15 already to start off your morning over in Montreal. So we are dealing with some fog patches in those lower lying areas, but nothing else to report this morning. We will get to see some sunshine as the sun does wake up very, very shortly around 6:42 a.m. this morning. Into your morning commute, because of those fog patches, be careful on your roads because, of course, visibility could be reduced slightly on your roads. Same with on your drive home, and that's because we are expecting some rain or some thunderstorms, mainly between 2 and about 8 p.m. So you could have a little bit of a slippery drive home as well. Daytime highs today, still above the norm, still above average, 24 for Ottawa today. We will see highs of 25 in Cornwall, 26 for Kemptville, Brockville, 23 out in Bancroft, 22 in the Valley is your daytime high today, 24 as your daytime high over in Gatineau. And over the next couple of days, the sun will be back, and we're still going to see some sunshine this morning, but we will start to see an increase of cloudiness around noon hour today. Then those scattered thunderstorms into the late afternoon from 2 till about 8 p.m. Tomorrow, 19 is the high, 18 on Saturday. So more normal, like seasonal temperatures to end off the work week and begin the weekend. Overnight lows are quite cool, though, dropping down to the low single digits. So 4 is the overnight low for Friday. 5 is the overnight low on Saturday. The warm weather is back on Sunday. We will see that sunshine. The next week, a mixture of some sunshine and some rain, but temperatures still very warm from Monday and through Tuesday.
Weather brought to you by Manotick Place Retirement Community, a community you can call home.
And here's a live look at your time saver traffic. Still no major issues east to west. Traffic is actually looking fairly decent this hour, and we are collision free, which is great news on your drive in.
Traffic brought to you by Presler Injury Lawyers, 1-800-JUSTICE.
From trash to treasure, a group of volunteers at All Saints Anglican Church in Greeley are transforming something most of us just throw away into something many who are experiencing homelessness desperately need. CTV's Caitlin Wilson explains.
On a Tuesday night in Greeley, the church pews are empty, but the back room is full of volunteers woven together by purpose.
You can see over here where they're all doing it's just over and under, back and forth, one end to the other.
Turning milk bags, a lot of milk bags, into something that can make a real difference.
It is just providing a little bit of comfort, one bag at a time.
Comfort that comes in the form of sleeping mats, a lifeline for those without a bed to call their own.
There's a lot of people in the city sleeping rough, especially with it being summer. The shelters are over capacity, so people will be sleeping outside, and they'll use these mats instead of sleeping just on the bare ground.
It takes teamwork.
This is where it starts. The bags are flattened. There's 3 simple cuts done, so the bottom is cut off.
Then they're looped together before the weaving begins, and it takes about 450 milk bags to make just one mat. Since the initiative began 3 years ago, more than 430 mats have been woven, plus around 400 portable sitting pads.
It's the fact that we're helping people, and it's also helping the environment as well. It's multifaceted.
And that's no small feat. The group partners with Earth Hub, a local environmental group that collects the bags, diverting more than 460,000 from the landfill since 2019.
The interesting thing about milk bags is they actually have the recycling symbol on them, but milk bags are not accepted in the blue bin in Ottawa. So therefore, they would have to go to the landfill. So we're trying to reuse them first before they end up there.
A labor of love woven into every mat, transforming plastic pollution into compassion and comfort.
As long as there's a need, we're not stopping. And everybody here will tell you the same thing.
Caitlin Wilson, CTV News.
Yeah, that's a great report by Caitlin. You know what I noticed there as the volunteers are twisting and knotting the bags, I noticed community happening there. These community of volunteers. They were coming together. They're talking. They're you know, they're really vibing with each other. And I would imagine, obviously, what they're doing is amazing for the homeless community, but it's also great for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Sometimes, you know, you get more from giving back than what you're even giving, right? Because you gain so much more as well, knowing you're helping people and really gaining a sense of community as well.
It's all about the volunteers, and you can tell when you talk to them throughout, like they love what they do and giving back. It's, you know, they always go, it's not about us, but you do feel good about doing something great for the city.
Thank you, volunteers. Here's a live look through our sky cam. Oh, the sun's like thinking about it. Like, should I come up? Oh, no. Melissa is saying that we could get a few showers. You're watching Your Morning Ottawa. We'll be right back. Here are the big stories happening today on Your Morning Ottawa. Canada's interim parliamentary budget officer says it's unlikely that attrition will be enough to reduce the size of the federal public service and meet the government's fiscal targets. Ontario Provincial Police are looking for a man wanted on a Canada-wide warrant for breach of statutory release. The Ontario government is expanding pharmacists' powers to treat and prescribe medication for more common ailments.
In our forecast, lots of sunshine to start off your day, but into the afternoon, we could see some scattered showers or risk of a thunderstorm today, mainly between 2 and about 8 p.m. later on this afternoon. Still warm and above seasonal with a high of 24. Cooling off slightly and more normal for this time of the year for Friday and through Saturday with highs of 19 and 18, but lots of sunshine on the way. On your roads this hour, here's a live look at your time saver traffic. Still no major issues east to west. The good news is collision free out there on your drive in, so traffic is smooth sailing this hour as you head off to work.
Well, this morning we are taking your comments on your favorite local discoveries throughout the summer.
And Elaine says, my favorite local discovery was a great dog park that I never knew existed in this area.
Incredible how you could live in one location and then just continuously discover new things, right?
It's amazing.
New dog park. I love that. Janet says, I discovered Bait Island with a great burger place and lovely patio and deck on the Ottawa River. It is located off the Champlain Bridge. Lots of free parking and views the Ottawa River. Sounds
Burger
stunning.
sounds pretty good right now. I know it's 6:47 in the morning,
But you're thinking about it, right?
I don't know what. That just, as soon as you're reading it, it just sounds really tasty.
I think for a lot of people, free parking.
Yeah.
They're like,
Absolutely.
"Ooh, you had me at free parking. Let's go," right?
Yeah. Even on Dow's Lake, they had this little patio and burger shack set up this summer. And, you know, living here locally, my friend from Vancouver was visiting me, and she's like, meet us here. And I was like, I don't even know what this place is. And it's so interesting how sometimes it takes someone else to tell you about it, and then you discover this little hidden gem. So all summer long, I was sending other people there.
That's why we need each and every one of you to chime in here, because we're all helping each other, because this is a big city.
It is.
I mean, we're talking geographically speaking, there's a lot of land to cover and a lot of hidden gems, so we will discover together.
Even when I was in Kitchener, like I had friends that were in Kitchener that were like, oh yeah, we're heading down to go, you know, to this Pilates class or this new studio or this restaurant, and I'm going, well, what's that? Like I had no idea about what it was, just because it's ever changing. There's so much evolution over the years since I left. And there's so many wonderful restaurants, parks, dog parks, and even yours, Melissa, the story that you're going to have today on your neighborhood, even just hearing a little bit about it and what's entailed, I'm very excited to see what that is, because I never knew.
My kids have been asking to go back since we went this summer. We went in August, and now they keep on saying, can we go back to that park in the sky? And I was like, well, maybe one day. And the good news is it's open all fall, too. So
very nice indeed.
Check it out.
We're going to be hearing from you later in the show. We are asking, what was your favorite local discovery this summer? Send us your comments at yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca.
And coming up next on Your Morning Ottawa, we are bringing you your fix, including a brand new project starring the Muppets. That's just ahead. Here's a live look at our sky cam on George Street this morning. A little bird flying by, and the sun is up. It'll be nice and sunny to start off your day, but yes, scattered showers and risk of a thunderstorm into the afternoon. Right now it is 6:49. Good morning, Ottawa. The series finale of the hit teen romance series, The Summer I Turned Pretty, dropped yesterday on Amazon Prime Video, but the story will continue with a feature-length film.
I had these pillars in my life. Cousins, my family, Taylor, Jer.
Oh, it's so good. It's bringing me back. The show has been a huge hit with teens, and trust me, adults alike. Amazon has confirmed it has greenlit a feature-length movie to conclude this series. Plot details remained under wraps for now. I watched the season finale yesterday, and I cried.
Come on.
I did. I got super emotional watching it and just thinking of it. It's really great. It's kind of this story of a girl coming of age, and you know she's young when she starts, and there's flashbacks, and it follows her family and another family, and you know, first loves and first heartbreaks, and off to college, and then venturing off in your 20s and rediscovering yourself. And of course, there's a couple romance between brothers, and you know, which brother will she choose? And of course, you have your favorite. Are you Team Jeremiah or Team Conrad? And
That sucks you right in. Like,
Which team are you?
I'm Team Conrad.
Team Conrad. Got it.
And I was saying, like yesterday, I had two different groups of people talking about watch parties for the show. So I guess this was the show they were talking about.
I thought, I'm like, as a millennial mom, am I weird to love this show? But no, apparently it was actually kind of written for millennials. So
Got it.
So we're okay.
I think it worked.
Yes. This year's nominees for the Toy Hall of Fame have been announced, and it's a blast from the past for 90s kids. Connect 4, Tickle Me Elmo, and Furbies are among the toys up for induction later on this year. Also included are Battleship, Trivial Pursuit, and the Lightsaber.
Okay, all those need to be in the Hall of Fame. What are you talking about? Connect 4? Come on. Trivial Pursuit?
Right?
Hello.
Tickle Me Elmo. I can still remember the sound of it.
All of them.
Do you remember
All
the
of them.
Tickle Me Elmo when like you couldn't find it on shelves, and it was like a mad dash to try and get your hands on a Tickle Me Elmo? And it's once a time again to meet the Muppets.
It's time to play the music. It's time to light the light. It's time to meet the Muppets.
Disney Plus has announced it's bringing back the 70s classic, The Muppet Show. The Muppet Show is coming back for a special in 2026. Seth Rogen is set to produce, and pop star Sabrina Carpenter has already been announced as the show's first guest star. The Muppet Show made Jim Henson's characters iconic back in the day and has been enjoying a new audience since it hit Disney Plus in 2021.
Seth Rogen. That's going to be very interesting.
And perfect person, Sabrina Carpenter, for their first guest. I mean, come on. I might have to watch.
You cannot go wrong with that.
No.
Okay, coming up in the next hour at 7:05, the Ottawa Black Bears are getting ready for a new season. We give you a preview. At 7:20, we tell you how to fight off common back-to-school bugs and viruses. And at 7:50, Melissa takes us to an adventure park in the sky. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. There's the sun. Hello. Good morning, Ottawa. You're watching Your Morning Ottawa. Good morning and welcome. I'm Rosie Edda.
I'm Will Aiello.
And I'm Melissa Lamb.
Coming up in just a few minutes, we are taking you to Equator in Almonte. That's our morning coffee feature for this Thursday, September 18th. Stay tuned for that shortly. We always love our coffee. We've been visiting a different coffee spot each and every day. Yesterday, Blues and Brews, we had some music, and then today we're heading out to Almonte for some delicious beans.
We are looking forward to that. But first, we're going to get to today's top stories. We begin with unsettling news for public servants on edge about potential job cuts. Canada's interim parliamentary budget officer says it's unlikely that attrition will be enough to reduce the size of the federal public service and meet the government's fiscal targets.
For the order of magnitude that you're looking at, it would be highly unlikely that you'd be able to close a deficit or reach a number that big without the path going through personnel costs. So without some sort of reduction or substantial changes in the composition of the public service.
Prime Minister Mark Carney recently insisted the plan is to rely on retirements and resignations as workers and unions express concern over potential job losses. But the interim PBO, Jason Jacques, tells CTV's Vashi Capellos that will not be enough to meet targets outlined in the Liberals' federal election platform. The platform pledged to eliminate $15 billion a year by 2028 to bring revenues in line with operational spending. The federal finance minister will table the budget on November 4th. Several ministers from former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's government could be leaving politics for diplomatic posts. Former Defence Minister Bill Blair is set to replace Ralph Goodale as High Commissioner to the UK. Former Energy Minister Jonathan Wilkinson has been offered a post in Brussels as EU ambassador, but according to a source, he's still considering the offer. And former Justice Minister David Lametti, who is currently Principal Secretary to Prime Minister Carney, could possibly be sent to New York to replace Bob Rae as ambassador to the United Nations.
ABC has pulled Jimmy Kimmel's late night show indefinitely after comments that he made in the wake of Charlie Kirk's assassination.
The MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them.
The decision came just a few hours after the Trump administration official responsible for licensing ABC's local stations publicly pressured the company to punish Kimmel. Free speech and free expression groups immediately condemned ABC, calling the suspension cowardly, while U.S. President Trump celebrated on Truth Social. Here it is. Congratulations to ABC for finally having the courage to do what had to be done. This is Trump writing on post on his Truth Social platform. Also, that leaves Jimmy Fallon and Sept, two total losers on fake news NBC. Their ratings are also horrible. Do it, NBC.
Alex Ferminton will not return to the Ottawa Senators when he is eligible to play in the NHL in December.
Have engaged in discussions with the agent, and I think both sides agree that it would be best for everybody for a fresh start for Alex.
So that means not with this organization?
Correct.
Sens General Manager Steve Staios making the announcement at the Sens' first day of training camp. Ferminton was one of 5 players on trial for sexual assault charges stemming from an incident in London, Ontario in 2018. All 5 players were acquitted. They will be eligible to sign contracts on October 15th and will be allowed to play in the league again in December.
Ontario Provincial Police are looking for a man wanted on a Canada-wide warrant for a breach of statutory release. 34-year-old Abdu Yassif is serving a 2-year sentence for firearms charges. Police say that he's known to frequent Ottawa. He's described as a 6'3" black man with black hair as well as brown eyes. Anyone with information on his whereabouts is asked to contact Crime Stoppers.
The Ontario government is expanding pharmacists' power to treat and prescribe medication for more common ailments. These regulatory changes still have to be approved by the Ontario College of Pharmacists, but things like sore throats, calluses and corns, mild headaches, shingles, minor sleep disorders, and even lice could see prescriptions coming directly from pharmacists. The province also wants to allow pharmacists to administer more publicly funded vaccines, including RSV, tetanus, diphtheria, and shingles. The Ontario Pharmacists Association calls this a step in the right direction.
We welcome this. I think this is great for Ontario residents and patients to break down some of the barriers and increase access to very much needed community-based services. And we know that pharmacists are trusted and they can do these things safely and effectively throughout the province.
Even then, there is some criticism coming from doctors who suggest the changes are risky and overlook the years of training doctors have.
Well, welcome news for homeowners. The Bank of Canada is cutting its interest rate by 25 basis points. It's a move that was widely expected by economists and mortgage lenders as the country saw inflation data for August come in at 1.9% year over year. What it means is the first time since March, borrowing money in Canada just got cheaper, which is welcome news for anyone with a variable mortgage or potentially looking to renew.
Hockey season is just around the corner, and the Ottawa Senators are hoping to build on last season's success, which saw their first playoff run since 2017.
Shabbat fires. Score! Ottawa scores first.
I was watching from a distance, but I was also very excited. I think I was the only Sens fan in southwestern Ontario. The Sens will be back in action at the Canadian Tire Centre this Sunday when they face off against the Toronto Maple Leafs in their first preseason game.
Dun, dun, dun. Before that, they have training camp this week, including a 52-player roster hitting the ice. Yeah, it's just about to go down.
Yeah.
There
And the
you
nice
go.
thing is when you have playoff hockey, it feels like the season starts so much sooner just because you had hockey a little bit longer than normal.
True. Yeah.
So,
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's hard to believe, though, because you wouldn't think that the NHL season is already underway because
Right?
it still feels like summer. So it's like, oh, like we're already there. You know, I'm a huge football fan, NHL fan, so everything's coming back. So it's a good time for sports.
It's the best time for sports. You have all of the seasons ending and seasons just beginning, so it's fantastic. And it's cool when you get to wear your shorts to the rink. Right?
Yeah, that's
like,
a nice
I love
add-on.
that
Yeah.
idea, and you can definitely do that today. We also have your weather picture this morning.
Wow.
Look at this beautiful photo that Marion sent in to us. It's the sunrise over Zion Lawn in Whitewater Township. Absolutely stunning, and thank you so much, Marion, for sending that in to us. A beautiful picture.
Weather picture brought to you by Box Me Up. Moving, staging, renovating. Just box me up.
We want to hear from you as well. Like Marion, send us a picture to us, weathershots@ctv.ca. Again, the email address is weathershots@ctv.ca, and you can be featured right here on the show. In your forecast for today, not a bad looking start to your morning. We will see a few clouds and fog patches to start things off. Today's high 24, so that is above average. Normal for this time of the year is around 19 degrees, so we will be well above that into the afternoon. Not quite record breaking, but that's okay. We'll still take the above seasonal temps. Sitting at 12 degrees now here in the city, starting to see a bit of that sunshine to kick off your day. 15 in Montreal, 10 in Cornwall. So pretty warm to start things off. The only place single digits is the Valley to start things off this morning. Other than that, a few fog patches we saw earlier. For the most part, that has dissipated. We will see that sunshine to kick off your day. And yes, we do have some green on the screen today. We could see some scattered showers starting around 2 p.m. today. Risk of thunderstorms in there as well. Continuing till about 8 o'clock tonight, then everything will clear up into the overnight and be very, very clear into your day tomorrow. So we have pure sunny skies as we head towards the end of the work week and towards your weekend forecast. 24 for us here in Ottawa today, 25 in Cornwall, 26 in Kemptville, 23 in Bancroft. The Valley's daytime high today is 22 degrees in both Pembroke, Petawawa, 24 as well over in Gatineau. So everywhere pretty much above seasonal into the afternoon. Of course, kids, if you're heading out to the school bus this morning and you want to know what we're going to see right now, 13 degrees, seeing a mix of sun and cloud out there, but there is a chance of those scattered showers on your way home tonight. So later on tonight, we could see a few scattered showers in the forecast for us. Over the next 7 days, we'll really see a mixture of everything on the way. Today's the day we could see some wet weather, but still really warm with a high of 24. Average for Friday and through Saturday, you could see temperatures 19 degrees, 18 on Saturday. Overnight lows quite cool, dropping down to the low single digits. But then next week, Sunday, is absolutely beautiful. 24 is the daytime high, lots of sunshine. It will stay warm to kick off next week, but we could see some scattered showers Monday and through Wednesday.
7-day weather forecast brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aid Centers, celebrating 80 years in family business.
Eastbound on the 417, starting to see a few slowdowns, starting at the 416 split until Bronson. Heading west on the Queensway, also seeing build-up between Saint Laurent and Nicholas this morning. Will.
Well, Dan McRae is the new head coach and general manager of the Ottawa Black Bears of the National Lacrosse League. He's stepping into the dual role after serving as the defensive coordinator in Colorado for the past 2 years. He joins us this morning in Ottawa to talk about the new role. Good morning, and you know what? Welcome to the Capitol.
Yeah, good morning. Well, thanks for having me.
It's so exciting to have you here, and you know, I can't wait to talk about the upcoming season because it's so great for the city to have an LLL team back in the Capitol. Tell us a little bit about yourself and the excitement for this new role.
Yeah, super excited to be here, nation's capital, coaching a team for Canada's national sport. But yeah, I was a 12-year player in the NLL, captained Calgary to the 2019 championship. Before moving to the New York Riptide, which were some of the players on this team were former teammates of mine, and then coaching the last 2 years. So yeah, been dedicating my life kind of in the sport of lacrosse, coaching and playing outside of the NLL and in the NLL to prepare me for this point. And yeah, super excited to take the Black Bears to the next level.
And you know what's so awesome? So 12 years in the NLL playing, 9 years for one team that you were at. So you're a loyal guy, which we always love here in the city. Can you talk a little bit about the plan for the future? You know, you've got a lot of excitement with some local players here in Ottawa and kind of what you see moving forward over the next little bit.
Yeah, for sure. There's a great foundation here and a lot of great players. Obviously, we have one of the best offensive talents in the game in Jeff Teat. We got a great goaltender in Higgins, young athletic defense, so we're just building around those pieces. And you'll see we've made a couple transactions already, brought in some players via a trade. One local boy, Sam Firth, coming in to help our left side on the offense. And then our first draft pick in the entry draft just last month, Liam Aston, another local Ottawa boy. He's going to help our right side on the offense. So yeah, getting some of that homegrown talent. Hopefully we'll be coming out to training camp and we'll be chipping away on the floor for us this season.
It's so exciting, and you know what? I feel like a lot of people too, if they haven't been to a game, they really don't know what to expect. And I brought a few people last year and they go, it's like it's a full entertainment experience, right? Because you got the music going, you've got contact, you've got so many goals. If people are looking to maybe get into it, like describe from your point of view how wonderful the sport of lacrosse is.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's a great physical display of physicality and athleticism and hand-eye coordination. You're going to get, yeah, like you said, a lot of music during the stoppages. There's a lot of on-floor entertainment with whether the mascots or the dancers. But when the game's on, you're going to see, bodies flying, sticks flying around, a lot of great display of skill and athleticism. And yeah, it's fun for the whole family. So yeah, I really do think once you come in once, it's not going to be your last time. Yeah, and a little bit surprising to some people too. It's not a lot of games. You look at the NHL season when you have so many games played. But it's very easily affordable too if you want to take the family to a game. Can we talk about how many home games and the packages that you guys are going to be offering? For sure, yeah. So 9 home games this year, and it is a good balance of Friday and Saturday nights. I know last year we had a heavy Friday schedule, so it's nice to see that we do have some more balance, getting some Saturday night home games, which makes it a little bit easier to pack up the family and get them to the games. But yeah, we're looking forward to the home opener, November 29th against the San Diego Seals. Going to kick things off on the right foot here, and get rolling. And before I let you go, I have to say we do have some tryouts occurring a little later on. Right. I hung up the lacrosse stick a long time ago, but for people kind of interested, what's going on at the tryouts? Yes, we have our free agent tryout coming up in October. So there's about 25 open spots to sign up for anybody of any sort of skill level or background to come out and try out for the team. There's also going to be some invitees of former NLL players that'll be involved, so be a good mix of guys looking to maybe get back in the league, some that haven't been in the league looking for some exposure, and we'll be bringing at least one, maybe some more, to our full team training camp out of the free agent tryout. So yeah, looking forward to see what the local Ottawa talent pool brings at the free agent tryout. It's so awesome. Having actual local talent on our Ottawa Black Bears NLL team is so cool. Again, Dan, welcome to the city and good luck on the season, my friend. Thanks, Will. Appreciate it. All right, coming up next on Your Morning Ottawa, our morning coffee cam. You know what? We're headed to Equator Coffee in Almonte. We'll join them shortly coming up. Get that caffeinated morning right on your Thursday. Plus, back to school means kids are bringing home more bugs than usual. We're going to take a look at some ways that you can fight them coming up just ahead. Our guest is standing by in the Your Morning Ottawa Lazy Boy Lounge. It's nice and cozy in there and bright. Speaking of brightness, finally the sunshine reappears through our Centennial Glass Skycam. Temperatures reaching the low 20s once again today. Holding on to those summer temps. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Your morning just got a little brighter. Start your day with CTV Your Morning, and you could win $20,000. For your chance to win, watch CTV Your Morning Ottawa, weekday mornings 6 to 9.
(7:18). Welcome back to Your Morning Ottawa. Today, Your Morning Coffee, Cam, takes us to the town of Almonte to visit Equator Coffee.
Welcome to Equator in Almonte.
Serving up bold beans and small town warmth.
So we roast once a week all our coffees and deliver them to our clients.
That started as a dream after university.
I studied international development and I wanted to do something with fair trade coffee. So we've been selling fair trade organic coffee since 1998.
And they teach their customers all about it.
We try to help educate our customer and help them enjoy coffee. We love coffee, so we want everyone to love it too.
Brewing coffee for the community.
These are local people. Each of our cafes has their own audience, and we want to make them feel special and be their neighborhood cafe.
And joining us now from Equator Coffee is Craig Hall. Good morning to you, Craig.
Good morning.
Okay, Craig.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
It's so great to have you on. I love the town of Almonte. Talk about why you decided to start up Equator Coffee right there in Almonte.
Wow, that's a good question. I actually had this moment when you asked that question. I was walking, I was delivering coffee to Baker Bob, and a lot of local people know Bob. And I walked through the downtown of Almonte, and I was like, this is such a pretty town. This is going to be one of those places where everyone wants to come on a Sunday afternoon. And I started the business in Arnprior, which is another beautiful town. Yep. But I felt we needed to be closer to the city to generate the business we needed.
I think that Equator Coffee, when I think of coffee in a coffee shop, it's about a feeling. It's about more than just the coffee. Can you kind of expand on what it's like when you walk into Equator Coffee? What's that feeling like?
Well, I hope it feels friendly and welcoming, and that you get a great product and you have a good experience. So coffee should be, you know, an experience both in flavor and in preparation. And then we have the personality of the staff and how you feel if you feel like you've been acknowledged, you've been treated well, and you get to taste something delicious. So at the moment, we have our barista making some coffee here in Almonte.
How do you get your day started, Craig? With what cup of joe do you like?
You know, I actually usually start at home with an AeroPress of our coffee, which is, you know, freshly roasted, fair trade organic coffee. I really like a single origin coffee. And I make it with an AeroPress. If you haven't used an AeroPress, you should give it a try. It's a great device to have in your home.
Craig, this is so great. We're getting like a little demo of the gorgeous coffee. I just love the aroma. I can smell it right now already. Listen, we're so glad that you can be here. We'll pop in again with you and chat with you a little bit later, but there you go. Craig Hall from Equator Coffee in Almonte. Gorgeous town, gorgeous coffee shop. Hey, have a coffee right now on us, okay, Craig? There you go.
Yes, thanks so much.
All right, thanks so much. Melissa.
Okay.
Well, the kids are back in school and everyone is settling back into their routines, which also means there are lots of bugs and viruses going around. But here to tell us how to ward them off, we have pharmacist and author Sherry Tarkos. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
So great to have you here. I am in desperate need of all of the things on this table. We are like week 3 into school and already we're coming home with the runny noses and the germs and all the things.
It's inevitable. The kids are notoriously bad with hand hygiene. They're not always washing their hands. They're not always coughing into their sleeve.
I know.
And they are just spending a lot of time close together playing. So the bugs are going to make their way around the classroom and then come home. So a few things to keep in mind. The first sign of infection is often runny nose and congestion. So what we want to do is look at something that can actually help to alleviate the symptoms, but also speed healing. So a lot of the nasal sprays that you'll see in the pharmacy are not recommended for young children. The decongestants can cause racing heart, make them hyper, affect their sleep. We don't want that. We don't want that. So I brought something with me that is safe. This can be used by children as young as 1 year old on the advice of a doctor, or for 4 and above if you're just buying that in the pharmacy over the counter. It's called betadine, and this is to be used at the first sign. It helps with the congestion and the runny nose, but it is also therapeutic and helps to speed healing. It actually works by trapping and disabling the viruses in the sinus passages so that they can't replicate and spread. So that is therapeutic to shorten that duration of cold symptoms.
I love that. Also helping us boost our immunity a little bit.
Yes, so we're talking antioxidant-rich fruits and vegetables, so thinking about berries, also immunity drinks. And this is one that we drink every morning in our household. It's called Sambucol. It's their immune system drink, and I'm going to let you taste this. I love it. It comes in these little packets.
I love when the packets are available because it makes it so nice and easy for us.
And Sambucol has direct antiviral properties. Also, this drink is rich in vitamin C.
And it tastes delicious.
And it tastes good, so you're not going to fight with your children about drinking that.
My kids are going to think it's juice. They're going to be like, I want some more of that juice.
Right, and it can also help with the symptoms. So if the little ones are sick, this helps with fever, cough, congestion, aches and pains. So it's therapeutic to help speed the healing process and also support the immune system.
Wonderful.
So a little bit of honey for a sore throat, safe for 1 and above. Kids like the taste of honey.
I take a scoop in the morning for my throat, my voice.
It's great. It coats the throat, so think about honey for that sore throat, the dry throat. Now for a cough syrup or an expectorant, often when you have an infection, it starts in the sinus passages and makes its way to the chest, and then you have that mucousy buildup in the chest. Hard to get rid of that. This is an expectorant. It's called Prospan by Helixia, and this contains ivy leaf extract, a specific form. It's called EA575 that's been clinically studied. This helps to relieve the mucus, free of alcohol, sugar, dyes, all the bad stuff.
And safe for young kids too.
For 1 and above.
Which is amazing.
Safe for 1 above, and you can find this in the pharmacy as well.
Okay, really quickly, super bugs.
Right, so we're talking super bugs. Those are those bugs that are antibiotic resistant, and the reality is we've used our antibiotics for so long, overusing them, giving them when we don't need them. So for viral infections, you don't need an antibiotic. It takes time to recover. If it's a bacterial infection, then yes, an antibiotic. The problem is when we take antibiotics and we don't need them, we get resistance. And the same thing is happening with head lice.
Let's talk about my worst nightmare.
Yes,
as a parent who dealt with this last year, and my whole family, yes, myself included, had lice, and it was horrendous to get rid of.
It's dreadful, and the problem is with head lice today is there's a high level of resistance to the commonly used treatments, which are pesticides. And so the pesticides have been around since the 70s, 80s, the insecticide treatments, a lot of resistance. So what I would recommend is using a non-pesticide treatment. This one here is called NIDA, and it contains dimethicone, and what it does is it suffocates the breathing apparatus of both the eggs and the adult lice. And also the nymphs, the teenage stage. So no matter what stage they're in, this will eradicate. It's 100% effective at killing the eggs.
Amazing.
If you use the 2 treatments, over 97% effective
I was using the
for
wrong
the adults.
one.
And then this, do you see this is the comb to
This was my best friend, but also my worst nightmare.
Oh no, worst nightmare when you have to separate the hair. So this has to be left on for 8 hours, so you sleep with this on, then you pick out the eggs the next day, and that is a tedious job, but it needs to be done. Beware of some of the home remedies. I love essential oils. I use them for cleaning, but I would not recommend them for treating head lice. There just isn't enough evidence that they work. That's right. So I would recommend using products that have been clinically studied, found to be effective, and caution children about sharing combs, brushes. Typically, head lice are contracted by head-to-head contact. They don't jump, they don't fly, but little girls, especially when they're playing together, they get their heads close, and that's how it happens.
They share their barrettes and all their things.
Yes, they do.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We truly appreciate it and helping us fight those common elements you're going to find with kids back to school. You can head to sherrytarkos.com for more information.
Good morning. I'm Rosie Edda.
I'm Will Aiello.
And I'm Melissa Lamb. And coming up, guys, we can see some rain in the forecast today.
Okay.
Something we haven't seen a lot of at all.
So
Right?
true.
Yeah.
All right, but first we begin with today's top stories. Unsettling news for public servants on edge about potential job cuts. Canada's interim parliamentary budget officer says it's unlikely that attrition will be enough to reduce the size of the federal public service and meet the government's fiscal targets.
For the order of magnitude that you're looking at, it would be highly unlikely that you'd be able to close a deficit or reach a number that big without the path going through personnel costs. So without some sort of reduction or substantial changes in the composition of the public service.
Prime Minister Mark Carney recently insisted the plan is to rely on retirements and resignations as workers and unions express concern over potential job losses. But the interim PBO, Jason Jacques, tells CTV's Vashi Capellos that will not be enough to meet targets outlined in the Liberals' federal election platform. The platform pledged to eliminate $15 billion a year by 2028 to bring revenues in line with operational spending. The federal finance minister will table the budget on November 4th. Several ministers from former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's government could be leaving politics for diplomatic posts. Former Defence Minister Bill Blair is set to replace Ralph Goodale as High Commissioner to the UK. Former Energy Minister Jonathan Wilkinson has been offered a post in Brussels as EU ambassador, but according to a source, he's still considering the offer. And former Justice Minister David Lametti, who is currently Principal Secretary to Prime Minister Carney, could possibly be sent to New York to replace Bob Rae as ambassador to the United Nations.
Jimmy Kimmel's late night show has been suspended indefinitely after comments he made about the killing of Charlie Kirk.
The MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them.
So that clip you see there is from Jimmy Kimmel's night monologue. The decision to suspend the show came after the Trump administration official responsible for licensing ABC's local station publicly pressured the company to punish Kimmel. Free speech and free expression groups immediately condemned ABC, calling the suspension cowardly, while U.S. President Donald Trump celebrated on Truth Social. So here it is. Congratulations to ABC for finally having the courage to do what had to be done, Trump wrote in a post on his Truth Social platform. That leaves Jimmy Fallon and Sept, two total losers on fake news NBC. Their ratings are also horrible. Do it, NBC.
Alex Ferminton will not return to the Ottawa Senators when he is eligible to play in the NHL in December.
Have engaged in discussions with the agent, and I think both sides agree that it would be best for everybody for a fresh start for Alex.
So that means not with this organization?
Correct.
This press conference.
Sens General Manager Steve Staios making the announcement at the Sens' first day of training camp. Ferminton was one of 5 players on trial for sexual assault charges stemming from an incident in London, Ontario in 2018. All 5 players were acquitted. They will be eligible to sign contracts on October 15th and will be allowed to play in the league again in December.
Ontario Provincial Police are looking for a man wanted on a Canada-wide warrant for breach of statutory release. 34-year-old Abdu Yasif is serving a 2-year sentence for firearms charges. Police say that he's known to frequent Ottawa. He's described as a 6'3" black man with black hair and brown eyes. Anyone with information on his whereabouts is asked to contact Crime Stoppers.
The Ontario government is expanding pharmacists' powers to treat and prescribe medication for more common ailments. These regulatory changes still have to be approved by the Ontario College of Pharmacists, but things like sore throats, calluses, and corns, mild headaches, shingles, minor sleep disorders, and even lice could see prescriptions coming directly from pharmacists. The province also wants to allow pharmacists to administer more publicly funded vaccines, including RSV, tetanus, diphtheria, and shingles. The Ontario Pharmacists Association calls this a step in the right direction.
We welcome this. I think this is great for Ontario residents and patients to break down some of the barriers and increase access to very much needed community-based services. And we know that pharmacists are trusted and they can do these things safely and effectively throughout the province.
Even then, there is some criticism coming from doctors who suggest the changes are risky and overlook the years of training doctors have.
Some of Marie Antoinette's personal items are landing in London's Victoria and Albert Museum for a first-of-its-kind exhibition.
There has never been an exhibition on Marie Antoinette in the UK, which is very surprising, I think, given her broad appeal.
Marie Antoinette's style looks into the origins and numerous revivals of the style shaped by arguably the most fashionable queen in history.
It includes historically accurate dresses, original portraits, and a number of fashion inspired by her in more recent years. Now, it runs until March 22nd.
Oh, I would love to see that.
Look at the shoes, Melissa. Check out her shoe game.
And I can see how, you know, pieces from them are still inspired in fashions we're seeing today. Those gowns and those dresses, like, iconic.
Yeah, can you imagine how hot you'd be in one of those gowns on like a day like yesterday, because it's layered, right?
Yeah, or today even.
Even today.
How tight they cinch in your waist. I can't breathe just thinking about it.
I'm just taking the info and I'm listening. Yeah.
We're sitting at 12 degrees here this morning, seeing lots of sunshine to kick off your day, but it's going to get a little bit cloudier later on this afternoon as we're going to see an increase of cloudy coverage into your day ahead. Temperatures pretty similar across the region, single digits for the valley, but other than that, double digits in Cornwall as well as down in Trenton, sitting at 10 degrees, already 15 to start off your day in Montreal. So fairly clear out there this morning. It's into the afternoon. It will change. So around noon hour today, we're going to start to see an increase of cloudiness. And then later on this afternoon, around between 2 and about 8 p.m. is when we could see a few scattered showers. You can see very tiny showers, so nothing that will be a complete wash. Risk of a thunderstorm in there as well. Something we haven't seen in quite some time is a little bit of wet weather and active weather on the way. Everything will clear up overnight and into your day tomorrow. Lots more sunshine on the way. So very, very clear skies to end off the work week and start off your weekend. Daytime highs today, 24 for us here in the city and similar across the region, 25 in Cornwall for your high, 26 in Kemptville. The valley slightly cooler with a daytime high of 22, but still above seasonal into your day ahead. 20 is their daytime high over in Mont-Tremblant. So kids heading for recess today, the morning recess should be fine. We will see a mix of sun and cloud and temperatures hovering in those high teens, sitting at 17 and 19 for your morning recess. It's this afternoon, late this afternoon as well. So you should still get out for afternoon recess. Cloudier skies, though. You can see not as much sunshine on the way at noon hour today. Temperatures hovering at 24 for a daytime high. It's later on this afternoon that we are expecting that rain and, of course, risk of thunderstorms as well. So we will see that late in the day between 2 and about 8, dropping to 9 tonight. Sunny skies for Friday and through Saturday. The big story is the cooler temperatures overnight, dropping to the single digits Friday and through Saturday as well. As we head into Sunday, the warm weather is back with a high of 24. On your roads this morning, eastbound on the 417, starting to see some slowdown starting at the 416 split and through Bronson. Heading west on the Queensway, we're seeing build up between Walkley and Nicholas and the 174 heavy volume between 10th line and the 417. Champlain and McDonald-Cartier bridges are moving quite slowly as well at the moment. Will.
Well, Canada's central bank has announced that it will cut the key lending rate to 2.5%. So what does this mean for you and your mortgage payments? Joining us now is Taylor Bennett from the Bennett Property Shop. Good morning to you, my friend.
Good morning.
So this is obviously, you know, yesterday the announcement happened, and then today we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
The first thing I want to kind of ask is, for people with current mortgages, what does it mean to their rate?
Well, of course, if you're somebody who's on a variable rate mortgage, you're going to take it basically immediate benefit of this rate decrease, which is great. And you're talking about a savings of roughly about $15 per month for every $100,000 you have on your mortgage. So if you had a $400,000 mortgage, it's roughly about $60 per month savings. So if you're somebody whose bills are a little bit tight, you're looking to save a little bit more money, you're going to have about $60 extra in your pocket. And if you're somebody who's on a fixed rate mortgage, there's no immediate effect, but 60% of those Canadians that have a fixed rate mortgage are up for renewal between now and next year. So you want to be paying attention a little bit now to what's going on. Whatever your fixed rate is, if you locked in 2021, 2022, it's still a little bit higher today than it was back then. Or if you're somebody who locked in when it was 5 or 6%, you're going to be able to lock in at a much lower rate. So speak to your mortgage expert, see what the best best plan of attack is. Maybe you have a chance of renewing at a lower rate right now, but every individual needs to check with your bank, check with your mortgage specialist, and figure out where you are personally.
Yeah, you always got to keep an eye on what's going on too, right? Like you said, not just for new homeowners or new buyers, but going for that renewal, which a lot of people are going through. It can drastically change the future of what you do.
100%, 100%, yeah.
I think it's important, like I was really curious, and it was one of the first questions I asked you, but I said, as soon as that announcement was there yesterday, were you getting like an influx of people? Do you feel that the real estate market is actually going to change like that dramatically and that quickly?
I don't think we're going to see a huge change, but what we will see is the market stay busier for a little bit of time right now. We're not typically in an environment where the economy is very strong and you would see a rate reduce. You'd probably see the prices go up immediately. You would see a lot of flurry action there, but because other areas of life, costs have gone up, you're looking at all the savings pretty much from your interest rate mortgage payment are probably already been applied as something else, but it will keep the market a little bit longer. And for first-time home buyers, you're looking at a little bit of an easier hurdle to get into the market right now. This rate drop, although it's only 2.5%, you might think it's pretty insignificant. It changes your buying power by about $12,000 if you're buying an average property right now. And then there might be another rate change in the future from now, but if there is, then you're looking at about a savings of about $25,000, meaning previously your maximum mortgage approval was $500,000, now it's going to be about $525,000. $25,000, that's a different neighborhood, an extra bedroom, finished basement with maybe a nice backyard. There's a lot of extra features that $25,000 could bring. So that rate change will certainly help somebody buy a little bit more affordable property, or maybe more of the property of their dreams.
And you talked about the next announcement coming at the end of October. Yeah. From your advice point moving forward, so yesterday we had the drop. When knowing that we're going to have another announcement in a couple of months or just over a month or so, would you say wait a little bit right now before you enter, or maybe try to jump on something?
Well, I would say it depends. If you're somebody who's locking with a variable mortgage, go ahead and do it right now, because once the rate does drop, you're going to drop it with it the second time as well. And also keep in mind when you go and get pre-approved from a bank, you get locked in, you have to move in by the time that pre-approval actually expires. So it can go a lot rather quickly. So if you're somebody who's looking to buy a property right now, go deal with a bank, get a locked in mortgage rate, go shop around with that rate. If the rate does drop again while you're shopping, you'll be able to drop with that. So not just because you've locked in on your pre-approval at a certain amount. If before you close the rate drops again, you'll take advantage of that. So there's really no harm in doing that right now. And now's a great time to buy a property. There's a lot of listings on the market right now that are coming on. There's always a little bit of a fall market here in Ottawa. Not as many buyers as there are typically in the spring market, so you'll have less competition, a lower rate, still some nice inventory to pick from. So it is a fantastic time to buy if you are somebody in the market right now.
So much information, and it all depends on your situation. Really appreciate the timing of you coming on this morning after yesterday. Taylor, again, it's volatile and it keeps moving forward, but your advice is always welcome here on the show.
Anytime. Yeah.
All right, don't forget you can tune in to the Marnie and Real Estate Show and Wealth Show every Saturday, 1 p.m. on News Talk 580 CFRA. Rosie.
Coming up on Your Morning Ottawa, Melissa's diving into the wild at the ultimate outdoor playground. She took her kids on an adventure of a lifetime at Uplift. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Skycam. Beautiful start to your day. You're watching Your Morning Ottawa.
Imagine immersing yourself in nature all while defying gravity flying high in the sky. Did you know that there's a spot just outside of Ottawa, home to North America's largest outdoor trampolines? I took my kids to explore Uplift Adventures and discover more about what they have to offer. We are about to go on to an adventure of a lifetime. I am so excited. I am here at Avril Lavigne today with JF Couture. Good morning to you.
Good morning. How's it going?
I am so excited. I know my kids are excited. Please tell us about this brand new facility because it looks amazing.
Well, this is actually North America's largest net park.
Cool.
So the largest outdoor trampolines. So you can climb, you can hop, you can slide, you can go in vertical tunnels. There's areas where there's giant balls. You can play dodgeball, or if you're tired, you can just lay down and rest on bean bags and enjoy the weather and the view.
And a beautiful scenic spot as well, where we can kind of escape from the hustle bustle of the busy life and be one with nature.
Exactly. Finally. So yeah, we created that to have people disconnect from their screens, reconnect with nature, with their families, their friends, and their inner selves as well.
Okay, I brought my kids here today. Are they safe to go up as well?
They're really safe to go.
Okay, you ready to go? Let's do it.
Let's jump.
Let's go. You ready, guys? Okay, let's go.
All right, well, we are bouncing. Jeff, we have made our way up. This is absolutely incredible. Let's talk about the safety features. It was one of the first things I asked, Mike, is this safe?
It's really safe.
It is.
You know, the capacity for it here is about like 18 people that weigh 300 pounds can jump at the same time. So we're safe. And there's 2 layers of nets.
Right.
So, and they're really strong, so you don't have to worry about anything.
And this is super cool because it's like a bunch of trampolines kind of all attached through a maze.
Exactly. There's actually 9 zones, 2 story-high trampolines, all interconnected. There's 3 slides, 2 vertical tunnels.
Oh my goodness.
So it's a lot of fun. There's so many things to do here that, you know, your kids are first, they're going to sleep in the car back home.
Yes, I love that.
And they're going to be exhausted, and they're going to want to come back again and again.
Speaking my language. I love everything about it. And there's so many other things to do and see here as well, not just this.
Exactly. Well, we have a cave here. Yeah. You can visit the cave through a tour, or you can just crawl in the tunnels like an explorer.
Fun. Yeah.
We've got aerial game tracks. So there's zip lines, there's challenge courses, there's courses for kids, courses for adults. So there's fun for the whole family to spend a day outside.
And fun. We are definitely having. We're taking it easy right now. We're taking a bit of a break.
Exactly.
There is a chill zone too, which is really nice. We took a little nap there earlier, but now we're into the bouncing portion.
Exactly, the fun part.
Yeah.
So, as I was telling you, 5 minutes of jumping on those trampolines is worth 30 minutes of jogging.
Amazing.
So that's a great workout if you don't have a lot of time.
I can see me getting my steps in today. This is absolutely incredible. And guess what? There's a zip line too. I see something coming overhead. Oh my goodness, that looks incredible. Okay, they are motoring. Woohoo! Literally something to see and do for everyone. And you're open all fall too, which is great.
Exactly. On weekends, if kids want to come with their school, we have to find our balance.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the purpose of our lives nowadays.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, we're going to be open all fall long, especially on weekends.
Amazing.
If you can come with your school, there's corporate parties you can come here and you can see your boss in a different angle.
All right, incredible. Oh, I think my kids are ready to vacate the premise, ready to go down the slide, guys. Okay, cross your legs and arms. Woo! Oh, so much fun. We had an absolute blast, and after we did the trampolines, we went and ventured off and did the zip line. And there's different levels for different age categories and skill levels. So like you saw the zip line that went over top of us.
Yes, I saw that.
We didn't dare to do that one, but we did the other ones where you weren't super high off the ground. And even my daughter was able to do it, and she's only 3.5, and she was able, we had a guide helping us through and tell us exactly what to do. And you're harnessed in, so if you do kind of fall, you're fine, you're safe. But really great place, and I can only imagine how beautiful it would be right now with the foliage and the trees changing color.
It's going to be amazing. I tell you, as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, yeah, I want to go there.
Right, and it's not just fun for the kids. Like, I had a blast.
I'm so glad. That looks like a blast and a lot of fun. Okay, we're going to be right back. You're watching Your Morning Ottawa. It is 7:51.
Welcome back, everybody. This morning we are asking you, what's your favorite local discovery of the summer? We need some good ones, especially me being back in town.
Yes, you need to discover all the different ones, right?
Yeah, so we're going to see more about what you guys were saying. What does Josie say?
Josie says we visited the beautiful winery, Kin Vineyards in Carp, for a mom's night out. We enjoyed tastings with the gorgeous vineyard full of sunflowers surrounding us. Ooh, Instagram moment right there. It was a true escape just minutes from Ottawa. Hey, thank you for that, Josie. That's a great spot.
Really good spot. So today we are asking you, what is your favorite local discovery of the summer? Send us your comments our way. Your Morning Ottawa at ctv.ca.
And it's time for your milestone celebrations on this Thursday, September 18th. We're going to start off with a happy 5th birthday. This is to Brielle. Lots of love from Mama, Daddy, little brother Antonio, little sister Camilla, Rolo, Grandmama, Nona, Nono, and all of your friends and family who say you are their little superstar. And that's it for today. So if you have a milestone, please celebrate it with us. Send your birthday announcements for kids turning 13 years old and younger. And for those turning 100 years old or more, we also do wedding anniversaries for those celebrating 50 years or more. All you have to do is email us your morning Ottawa milestones at ctv.ca, and we'll be sure to get your announcement on the air. Here's a live look through our sky cam this morning. It's going to be a great start to your day. Temp still sitting at 13 degrees with some sunshine, but rain on the way later on this afternoon.
Good morning and welcome. I'm Rosie Edda.
And I'm Will Aiello.
And I'm Melissa Lamb, and I'm bringing you something today I haven't told you about in quite some time. A little bit of rain in the forecast this afternoon.
A little bit of moisture. We have not had that for a minute.
We have not.
The weather has been amazing, though. Thank you very much, Melissa, for giving that to you.
And I've learned over the years about the gardening, but this time of year, like thinking about the year ahead, the rain is still very welcome because we need to be thinking about the future gardens.
We do.
No doubt about that.
All right, we actually do have some breaking news to bring you this morning. One person is dead after an incident at a workplace in Ottawa's East End. Emergency crews were called to Sheffield Road near Innes Road at approximately 6:30 p.m. yesterday. An Ottawa Paramedic Service spokesperson says the call reported a man was trapped under a forklift. The man was pronounced dead at the scene. We will bring you more details on this as they become available to us.
Unsettling news for public servants on edge about potential job cuts. Canada's interim parliamentary budget officer says it's unlikely that attrition will be enough to reduce the size of the federal public service and meet the government's fiscal targets.
For the order of magnitude that you're looking at, it would be highly unlikely that you'd be able to close a deficit or reach a number that big without the path going through personnel costs. So without some sort of reduction or substantial changes in the composition of the public service.
Prime Minister Mark Carney recently insisted the plan is to rely on retirements and resignations as workers and unions express concern over potential job losses. But the interim PBO, Jason Jacques, tells CTV's Vashi Capellos that will not be enough to meet targets outlined in the Liberals' federal election platform. The platform pledged to eliminate $15 billion a year by 2028 to bring revenues in line with operational spending. The federal finance minister will table the budget on November 4th. Several ministers from former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's government could be leaving politics for diplomatic posts. Former Defence Minister Bill Blair is set to replace Ralph Goodale as High Commissioner to the UK. Former Energy Minister Jonathan Wilkinson has been offered a post in Brussels as EU Ambassador, but according to a source, he's still considering the offer. And former Justice Minister David Lametti, who is currently Principal Secretary to Prime Minister Carney, could possibly be sent to New York to replace Bob Rae as ambassador to the United Nations.
ABC has pulled Jimmy Kimmel's late night show indefinitely after comments that was made in the wake of Charlie Kirk's assassination.
The MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them.
Well, some of the words said right there. The decision came just a few hours after the Trump administration official who's responsible for licensing ABC's local stations publicly pressured the company to punish Kimmel. Free speech and free expression groups immediately condemned ABC, calling the suspension cowardly, while U.S. President Donald Trump celebrated on Truth Social, saying, here we go, congratulations to ABC for finally having the courage to do what had to be done. Trump wrote this in a post on his Truth Social platform and also, quote, that leaves Jimmy, Fallon, and Seth, two total losers on fake news NBC. Their ratings are also horrible. Do it, NBC.
Alex Fermenton will not return to the Ottawa Senators when he is eligible to play in the NHL in December.
I've engaged in discussions with the agent, and I think both sides agree that it would be best for everybody for a fresh start for Alex.
So that means not with this organization?
Correct.
This press conference.
Sens General Manager Steve Staios making the announcement at the Sens' first day of training camp. Formenton was one of 5 players on trial for sexual assault charges stemming from an incident in London, Ontario in 2018. All 5 players were acquitted. They will be eligible to sign contracts on October 15th and will be allowed to play in the league again in December.
Ontario Provincial Police are looking for a man wanted on a Canada-wide warrant for breach of statutory release. 34-year-old Abdu Yusuf is serving a 2-year sentence for firearms charges. Police say that he's known to frequent the Ottawa area. He's described as a 6'3" black man with black hair and brown eyes. Anyone with information on his whereabouts is asked to contact Crime Stoppers.
The Ontario government is expanding pharmacists' power to treat and prescribe medication for more common ailments. These regulatory changes still have to be approved by the Ontario College of Pharmacists, but things like sore throats, calluses and corns, mild headaches, shingles, minor sleep disorders, and even lice could see prescriptions coming directly from pharmacists. The province also wants to allow pharmacists to administer more publicly funded vaccines, including RSV, tetanus, diphtheria, and shingles. The Ontario Pharmacists Association calls this a step in the right direction.
We welcome this. I think this is great for Ontario residents and patients to break down some of the barriers and increase access to very much needed community-based services. And we know that pharmacists are trusted and they can do these things safely and effectively throughout the province.
And you're going to have a seat in that big
Even then, there is some criticism coming from doctors who suggest the changes are risky and overlook the years of training doctors have.
People spending the day at Alta Lake near Whistler were treated to this sight.
And the perfect music to go alongside of that as well. A lucky nature watcher recorded this video of 2 young bears just having a time playing in the water.
A canoe and kayak company captured the footage and posted it saying, "It doesn't get much more Canadian than this." Yeah.
And you know, I feel like we see so many videos online about it's always, you know, like a bear's close and get the bear spray and running away and doing this. So it's so nice to see them in their playful nature, just having a time in the water.
Bears just want to have fun.
No worries in the world,
Yeah,
right?
that's very nice indeed. And
So
we
cute.
have no worries yesterday, the day before that, and the day before that in terms of the weather. But today, maybe a little worry about weather.
Especially
about
if you
rain.
have some outdoor plans later on this afternoon. Could get a little bit wet, but don't worry, it's not too bad. Just a little bit of rain in the forecast for us, something we haven't seen too much of lately. Sitting at 15 degrees, so we continue to climb temperature-wise, and it is pretty mild across the region now. 11 in Kingston, Trenton, as well as in the valley, so they've warmed up earlier. They were sitting in the single digits, 17 currently now in Montreal. So throughout the day ahead, we will see that sunshine. So very sunny skies to start things off into the afternoon. That's when we could see some thunderstorms. We're going to start to see an increase of cloudiness around noon hour today. 24 is your daytime high. Then between 2 and 8, that's when we could see some active weather in the form of a little bit of rain or risk of some thunderstorms. Nothing that will be a complete wash, just a little scattered shower here and there. Some areas will stay completely dry into your afternoon. Still above seasonal temps today, 24 for us here in the city. It will be 22 for your daytime high in Pembroke today, 26 down in Trenton, Kingston, Brockville, 25 out in the Seaway this morning into your day ahead, 22 currently if you head into Petawawa. That will be their daytime high as well later on today. Over the next couple of days, you'll see warm conditions today, overnight dropping to 9. Everything will clear up overnight sometime after 8 p.m. That's when skies will begin to clear. Bright and sunny to end off your work week. 19 tomorrow, very average for this time of the year. 18 on Saturday. We will see that sunshine, but those overnight lows dropping into the single digits, in the low single digits. So quite cool overnight Friday as well as on Saturday. Then as we head into Sunday, the warm weather is back and will stick around into next week. On your roads this morning, here's a live look at your time saver traffic. Eastbound on the 417, starting to see some slowdowns starting at the 416 split in through Bronson. If you are heading in the opposite direction, also seeing some slowdowns. Richmond in through Pinecrest, so it is quite slow on the bridges as well coming in from Gatineau into Ottawa this morning.
All right, it's time now to head back to Almonte for another cup of coffee. Joining us now from Equator is Craig Hall. Good morning, welcome back.
Good morning, Rosie.
Okay, so Craig, I understand you're going to show us what's on the menu. You got a few samples.
Yeah, we had the kitchen just bring out some of our food. We actually prepare in the cafes. So yeah, we have a few items to show you here.
All right,
we got breakfast sandwich. It's a cheddar bacon breakfast sandwich. We got smashed avocado toast. And we have a smoked salmon fancy toast. And then a veggie roasted red pepper with pesto sandwich. So we prepare these items in our stores, and they're definitely made in-house every day.
It's absolutely beautiful. I got dibs on the smoked salmon fancy toast. Very nice indeed. That's gorgeous. And I love the flatware as well. It's beautiful, the plates. That's absolutely gorgeous.
Rosie. Yeah, it looks really good.
Hey, Craig, I wanted to ask you about this. The name of the shop, Equator Coffee. Why?
Yeah, so Equator Coffee Roasters began with the idea of Equator as being equal to. So we wanted to be a little more fair in how we do business. So Equator is also where coffee's grown, all around the equator in the planet, within 200 miles of the equator. So those were the reasons.
Craig, what's the best thing about running Equator Coffee in Almonte?
Well, I think I love the connection to the south from the north. So we have a beautiful staff, great location, a great Canadian town, but we're also connected directly to southern communities by how we purchase our coffee. So I love that connection.
And what about the patrons who come in and when they grab their cup of coffee, do a lot of them tend to sit and enjoy it right there?
Yeah, we actually, in Almonte, we particularly have lots of groups of seniors coming to visit, people visiting together. We have a lot of seating here, so yeah, we get lots of conversation. Of course, I mean, I like to engage a lot of customers too, and I've learned some good business tricks from some of these senior business people that have retired out here to Almonte, yeah.
Oh, that is wonderful. Listen, Craig, thank you so much for taking some time with us today. We're just visiting all these fantastic coffee shops in and around Ottawa, and we're so glad we got to stop by Equator Coffee. Your place is just absolutely delightful in the beautiful town of Almonte. Craig, thank you again for your time this morning, and hey, continued success with the coffee shop.
Yeah, thank you, Rosie. Thanks for coming.
You're so welcome. There you go. You got Equator Coffee, 451 Ottawa Street in the beautiful town of Almonte. Coming up, if you have an international trip planned soon, you'll want to hear our next segment. What do you need to know when it comes to travel insurance? Oh, we got you covered. We'll tell you next. Our guest is standing by in the Your Morning Ottawa Lazy Boy Lounge. And okay, here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Skycam. Beautiful start to your day. Plenty of sunshine this morning, but that's going to change for the afternoon.
Your morning just got a little brighter. Start your day with CTV Your Morning, and you could win $20,000. For your chance to win, watch CTV Your Morning Ottawa, weekday mornings 6 to 9.
Oh, welcome back, everybody. If you are planning a vacation and not sure about travel insurance, we tell you when to get it and if you should get it ahead of your stress-free holiday. We have Rachel joining us right now from CAA because this is such an important topic to be going forward with. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning.
So before we get into the travel insurance, I really want to talk about the travel destinations and what people are doing this time of year, because over the last year or so, people have been avoiding certain areas. Are you seeing that on the travel side where the travel has been impacted to certain destinations?
Yes, for sure. People are definitely shifting where they're going. So they're exploring Canada more. So people are staying close to home and they're revisiting their own country and they're really enjoying it. And they're going to also places in Europe, but in less traveled destinations, so the quieter spots. They're also choosing a different time of year to travel. So at this time of year, we're seeing a huge shift in traveling into Europe because it's less quiet than July and August, less hot too.
Right, of course, and especially this summer. It's been so hot here.
Yeah.
It just depends on where you want to go. Now, from a very basic standpoint, if I'm traveling outside of Canada, whether that be the United States, if I'm going to Europe, what should I be thinking about when it comes to travel insurance?
So travel insurance is very important to get as soon as you book. And it protects you the most when you are planning and you're putting, large money down on a trip. For the cancellation interruption insurance, it'll protect you. And with our insurance, we have a benefit when you book your trip and the insurance at the same time. We have cancel for any other reason. So if you change your mind, have a bad hair day, you can cancel. And if you book the trip with CAA, you can get up to 75% back on your trip just for changing your mind. If you're sick, you can claim up to 100% back. But that's a great benefit to have. Medical insurance, that's very important. Those expenses can be really, really high if you get sick. You break a leg, it could cost you, 20 grand, 30 grand. So the insurance will help cover you for that.
And now, are there different travel insurance plans for something like that? Because I think when you travel somewhere else, just whether you're a parent or you're just a little bit anxious about traveling and something happening, are there different plans that you should be thinking about to have yourself covered if, let's say, you were traveling to the United States, you break your leg, you need to be in hospital for 3-5 days and travel back? It could be up to $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. How do you get peace of mind with something before your trip?
So you can either do it standalone. If if you're driving down, you're not flying, you've got nothing that's non-refundable, you can get just the medical insurance and that'll cover you. It'll also repatriate you if it's medically necessary to fly home or whatnot. But you can get a package plan. So, the cancellation, the interruption, the baggage, the medical, that can all be bundled together. It'll save you a little bit of money as well rather than doing things piecemeal. And you'll get that protection.
And I think it's important, so just for everyone at home that's watching, OHIP does not cover you outside of Ontario, but I think that certain people, I do have health insurance, but it's good to know what some of those details actually entail and where you're not covered.
No, exactly. So if you're traveling within Canada, a lot of people don't realize that they still need some sort of insurance. One, cancellation. If, hotels are just as non-refundable in Vancouver as they are in Cancun, so
right.
If you have to cancel, that part can certainly cover you. In terms of the medical, OHIP will cover you for up to what Ontario pays. But if anything's extra, you have to pay that out of pocket. So your travel insurance will cover you. Something like an ambulance. We still don't have ambulance coverage here. You can put it on your medical plan that you have here. But out of province, they could potentially treat it like a taxi. So you pay that ambulance fee, but then you pay per kilometer to get to a hospital. So you could end up with, $1,000 ambulance bill. And travel insurance will cover you for that. So there's little things that are not covered with your OHIP, but the insurance will cover you.
So much to think about, so much to know, and specific for each trip where you're going. If someone has gotten some great information from you today, but then they have some more specific questions or want some more details, where would they head to find you guys?
They can either come into one of our stores. We have 3 stores in Ottawa, east, west, and the middle, and we have our online. We can certainly do a CAA-NEO.ca. They can certainly look it up online, or they can give us a call anytime.
And you're the person to talk to, travel store manager with CAA, Rachel, especially right now where people are thinking about travel in the winter months. Really appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Melissa, over to you.
Well, your morning just got a whole lot richer. We are giving away $20K, and guess what? It's time for today's code word. Imagine what you could do with an extra 20 grand, a dream vacation, home renovations, paying off some bills. The possibilities are endless. So we have today's code word, and it is splurge. Head over to our contest page on ctvottawa.ca or scan the QR code on your screen. Enter the code word along with your info for your chance to win this CTV Your Morning Ottawa's $20,000 giveaway. And make sure to watch us tomorrow for a brand new code word. Good luck. Here's a live look through our GT cam this morning on George Street. Not a bad looking start to your day. It is bright and sunny. Temperatures sitting at 14 degrees. It is 8:21.
Well, welcome back to Your Morning Ottawa. We're really glad that you can join us this morning. It's Thursday already.
It's hard to believe that we're already at that point right now, and we always like to check in with some of our friends upstairs from Move 100 for their Therapy Thursdays.
Hi, Sophie and Jeff. My boyfriend of 2 years recently moved to Alberta for a job. I was supposed to go with him, but my mom got diagnosed with Alzheimer's, so I stayed home to care for her. Before my boyfriend left, he broke up with me saying it wasn't fair for me to try and make a long-distance relationship work while taking care of my mom. He said I would find someone in a few months. He still wants to be friends and texts and calls me every day. Should I tell him goodbye? I keep talking to him because I'm afraid he's the only man that will love me.
You can send it in by using the free iHeartRadio app's TalkBack feature. All you have to do is press a little microphone and give us your advice in real time for Laura. Here's some from Victoria.
She needs to move on. You have to love yourself first before anyone can love you.
Ding, 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 ding.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to love yourself first before anyone else can love you. Laura, this is red flags for me, big time. And Steven says over text here, I believe he's trying to use this as an excuse to make himself look good for breaking up with her after 2 years. I think he wants out of the relationship, and moving gives him a chance to see other people without any chance of her knowing.
Okay. I also believe that it could easily be the case. However, sometimes men don't know what they have. And I think that if she scales back, like you suggested, that it might be a wake-up call for him. But I think that you have to not keep giving him this emotional support and this, the continuation of the relationship.
Just because he's calling doesn't mean you have to answer.
Exactly.
My problem is that they were together for 2 years, and he broke up with her knowing that she stayed back and didn't move to Alberta because she's taking care of her mom who has dementia.
Well, this text, as you're saying that, came in and said he already put the job before her. That says it all. We might be reducing that. He might have been upset about it or whatever, but he still blamed the breakup on your needs rather than his own. And that just does not sit well with me.
Yeah, it doesn't sit well with anyone, Laura. You are a better person than that.
Ooh, you know what I say to that? I'm like, you're in or you're in my way. It's like one of my famous lines that I've used several times. I know I told you about it earlier.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're in or you're in my way. We're either in or we're doing this together and we're figuring it out and we're navigating it together, or you're in my way to find my one true love. So see you later.
Yeah, you're either a team or you're not. Something as you grow up, you start to learn. So hopefully they can get some good advice and have something positive moving forward.
Absolutely.
Well, coming up, Charmaine Broughton is getting ready in the Your Morning Ottawa Delorier kitchen. She is up next when we head over there. Ooh, and I already got a sneak peek. There's some delicious food there. Stay with us, everybody. You're watching Your Morning Ottawa, and we will be right back.
Good morning. I'm Rosie Edda.
I'm Will Aiello.
And I'm Melissa Lamb.
We are going to bring you some breaking news that just got into our newsroom this morning. One person is dead after an incident at a workplace in Ottawa's East End. Emergency crews were called to Sheffield Road near Innes Road at approximately 6:30 p.m. yesterday. An Ottawa Paramedic Service spokesperson says the call reported a man was trapped under a forklift. The man was pronounced dead at the scene. We will bring you more details on this as they become available to us.
And unsettling news for public servants on edge about potential job cuts. Canada's interim parliamentary budget officer says it's unlikely that attrition will be enough to reduce the size of the federal public service and meet the government's fiscal targets.
For the order of magnitude that you're looking at, it would be highly unlikely that you'd be able to close a deficit or reach a number that big without the path going through personnel costs. So without some sort of reduction or substantial changes in the composition of the public service.
Prime Minister Mark Carney recently insisted the plan is to rely on retirements and resignations as workers and unions express concern over potential job losses. But the interim PBO, Jason Jacques, tells CTV's Vashi Capellos that will not be enough to meet targets outlined in the Liberals' federal election platform. The platform pledged to eliminate $15 billion a year by 2028 to bring revenues in line with operational spending. The federal finance minister will table the budget on November 4th. Several ministers from Former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's government could be leaving politics for diplomatic posts. Former Defence Minister Bill Blair is set to replace Ralph Goodale as High Commissioner to the UK. Former Energy Minister Jonathan Wilkinson has been offered a post in Brussels as EU ambassador. But according to a source, he's still considering the offer. And former Justice Minister David Lametti, who is currently Principal Secretary to Prime Minister Carney, could possibly be sent to New York to replace Bob Rae as ambassador to the United Nations.
ABC has pulled Jimmy Kimmel's late night show indefinitely after comments were made in the wake of Charlie Kirk's assassination.
The MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them.
So a few of the words said right there. The decision came just a few hours after the Trump administration official who is responsible for licensing ABC's local stations publicly pressured the company to punish Kimmel. Free speech and free expression groups immediately condemned ABC, calling the suspension cowardly, while U.S. President Trump celebrated on Truth Social. Here's one quote. "Congratulations to ABC for finally having the courage to do what had to be done." So he said this on Truth Social, and then another quote. "That leaves Jimmy Fallon and Sept, two total losers on fake news NBC. Their ratings are also horrible. Do it, NBC." Ontario Provincial Police are looking for a man wanted on a Canada-wide warrant for breach of statutory release. A 34-year-old Abdu Yasuf is serving a 2-year sentence for firearms charges. Police say that he's known to frequent Ottawa. He's described as 6'3", a black man with black hair and brown eyes. Anyone with information on his whereabouts is asked to contact Crime Stoppers.
The Ontario government is expanding pharmacists' power to treat and prescribe medication for more common ailments. These regulatory changes still have to be approved by the Ontario College of Pharmacists, but things like sore throats, calluses and corns, mild headaches, shingles, minor sleep disorders, and even lice could see prescriptions coming directly from pharmacists. The province also wants to allow pharmacists to administer more publicly funded vaccines, including RSV, tetanus, diphtheria, and shingles. The Ontario Pharmacists Association calls this a step in the right direction.
We welcome this. I think this is great for Ontario residents and patients to break down some of the barriers and increase access to very much needed community-based services. And we know that pharmacists are trusted and they can do these things safely and effectively throughout the province.
And then there is some criticism coming from doctors who suggest the changes are risky and overlook the years of training doctors have.
Well, you know what? We have had such amazing conditions over the last couple of weeks, and I feel like each and every day we've just been like, thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Melissa.
Yes, exactly. And I guess we have to thank that ridge of high pressure maintaining over our regions, maintaining the sunny skies, and really warm conditions as well. It's so great to have that.
Yeah, and we are going to see maybe a little bit of rainfall in the forecast, but then there's some sunshine to look forward to too this weekend, Melissa.
Should I hide since I'm bringing you some showers later on today? You're setting me up for like sunshine and beautiful above seasonal temps, and then I'm like, but we got some rain and some thunderstorms, so maybe I should just duck down a little bit. But you know what? It's not going to be so bad if we do see a little bit of rain, and at least temps are mild, especially starting this morning. We're already sitting at 14 degrees here in the city. We're seeing some very light winds out of the southwest, around 4 kilometers an hour. So if you're sifting through your closet today, yeah, you need something you haven't needed in quite some time, an umbrella. But that's mainly for this afternoon. Temps will reach a daytime high of 24 for today. We could see some scattered showers late this afternoon, but right now in our satellite radar, nice and clear out there. So lots of sunshine to start off your Thursday. It's just later on today, between 2 and about 8 p.m., we could see those scattered showers, risk of thunderstorms as well. And temps pretty warm across the region, above seasonal. Trent and Kingston sitting at 26 for your daytime high. 22 is the high out in the valley into your afternoon. 24 if you are in Gatineau today. So overall, A beautiful day, above seasonal temps, but yes, a little bit of that rain on the way for today. Everything will clear up overnight tonight and then Friday and through Saturday. Very seasonal-like conditions into the afternoon. Lots of sunshine on the way. Those overnight lows, though, that will be the big story because it will be quite cold overnight Friday, Saturday, dropping to the lower single digits, which means your early morning hours will also be a little bit chillier. But don't worry, the warm weather not going anywhere. Next week, we are above seasonal Sunday and through Tuesday. On your roads this morning, we have a collision. This is heading westbound on Baseline between Xena and Farlane Road. That is causing significant delays, so avoid that if you can. And we still do have heavy volume east to west now on the Queensway. So a couple of slowdowns to report so far this morning on your drive-in. Well, we are keeping it simple this September with some simple September recipes. We have Charmaine Broughton here this morning in your kitchen giving us some great ideas. I love to keep it simple in September. I find it's always a crazy month because it's like back to work, back to school, back to routines, and it just seems like we don't have a lot of time to cook.
That's it. And the beauty of all of these recipes, I was actually just thinking of it as I was setting up, is there's actually no actual cooking involved in any of these.
Even better.
Yeah, it's all just assembling amazing dishes using ingredients you already have on hand.
I love it so much.
Which is key,
yes,
right?
Absolutely, when I don't have to run around. So we're going to start with a morning muesli, which I love.
Yes, so this is my get up and go morning muesli, and I call it this is because I basically raised my two boys who are now 22 and 24 on this muesli. We made this on repeat in my home. Again, nothing but pantry staples, uses plenty of plant protein sources and spices that you have. So let's get cooking. Let's get assembling.
Let's get mixing.
That's it. Okay, so in my bowl, I just have some large flaked oats. Most people have those already in their pantry.
Yep.
And the other neat thing about this recipe is it really doesn't matter what order you put the food in. So this is a great recipe to have your kids get involved in.
I love it because they love doing cooking with me or assembling, I should say. Making a mess is what they really love, let's be honest.
Hey, but that's what cooking and food is all
Part
about,
of the beauty
right?
of it, yeah.
My cookbook's called Delicious and Doable Recipes for Real and Everyday Life for a reason. I'm all about real and everyday life, and that includes making a mess.
Who isn't these days? Okay.
Okay, so we've got the oats, and then I'm adding some chia flax and hemp seed. So this is going to add some fiber and plant protein.
I love it.
And then I'm going to add some pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds, some more fiber and plant protein, a little bit of ginger and cinnamon, just like this. Some Greek-style yogurt.
Okay.
I like the full fat, but if you were vegan, you could do like a
coconut yogurt.
Yeah, coconut yogurt. A splash of OJ, just like this. Some dried cranberries, but you could do dried blueberries. You could do dried cherries, really whatever you have on hand. Raisins. And hey, if you didn't like dried fruit, I know Rosie doesn't like dried fruit.
Oh, really? I love dried fruit.
If I was making this for Rosie, I wouldn't put the dried fruit in.
Okay, so just don't add it in.
Pinch of salt, the most important ingredient in the kitchen. And then to sweeten it up, I'm using some of the Crosby's Fancy Molasses, okay? So it's not just for gingerbread cookies anymore, or barbecue sauces, or marinades. You know, add it to your muesli. It adds a nice, robust, sweet, amazing flavor.
And there's iron in there, too.
Yes. And then some vanilla.
All right.
And then some apple. And ta-da, I think, some orange zest.
Oh, orange zest, gotta add that in there.
I figure if you are buying the oranges anyhow to eat or to juice, you might as well utilize the zest.
I love when you use the whole part of the fruit, right?
Well, who can afford not to?
Right, exactly. True.
Okay, so in goes the orange zest, and you've got my Get Up and Go morning muesli.
Look at that.
You can pack it up into little containers. They can eat it for breakfast, on the school bus, take it for a recess snack. Delicious, doable, using pantry staples.
Okay, I love it so much. Let's make a sandwich.
Yes, so this is my ultimate supper sandwich, another recipe that I raised my family on. So what you're going to do is you're going to go and you're going to purchase a pumpernickel loaf, just as if you were making the spinach dip. And you're going to do just that. You're going to hollow it out. Okay. And now, I don't know about you, but my crisper always has bits and pieces of lettuce.
But like not enough to make a salad, not enough to do things. So what do you do with these odds and ends?
Pathetic looking vegetables that you want to turn into something absolutely stunning. So you're going to pile in all the bits and pieces that you have kicking around your fridge, whether it's veggies or deli meat or cheese, and you're going to pile it into the pumpernickel loaf.
Stuff it up.
Yeah, then you're going to put it back in the bag that it came in, just to seal it. And ideally, you want to let it sit for about 2 hours, just so everything sticks together.
Melts together.
And then look at this. You are turning all of those bits and pieces that might go to the trash into an amazing supper sandwich. My kids were very active when they were growing up. So if we went to a tournament, instead of wasting all the food that was left in the fridge, I would turn it into this. We would bring it to the tournament. They could fuel their body well, use up things we already have on hand. If you want your kids to eat fruits and veggies, or tons of veggies, this is the way to do it.
Great for a picnic as well, right? Like, such a good idea.
So many amazing like ways that you can enjoy this sandwich.
Okay, about 45 seconds to explain our last little bars here. And I know Will's lurking because he's been eyeing these for quite some time. So come on in, Will.
These are
grab one.
Crunchy peanut butter and maple bars. So peanuts and peanut butter are staples in Canadian homes. Another great source of plant protein and fiber. And yes, peanut butter is great on a piece of toast, but I love incorporating like peanuts and peanut butter into recipes.
Yeah, me too.
So these are amazing. So this recipe actually is from the Peanut Bureau, so you can go to peanutbureau.ca. A little trick what I do, just because they're so good, is I actually double the base recipe. I have everything up on my website because I like a big bar. If I can have a bar, it's going to be a big bar. So
and what's in the base?
So the base is just some like cereal,
for more
maple syrup, a little bit of peanut butter. You stir it all together. You do just need to melt it a little bit on the stovetop, just for a few seconds. Stir everything together, and then the icing is again some maple syrup, some icing sugar. All the recipes are up on my website and or peanutbureau.ca. So you can fuel your gang well, simply delicious. And
simple September recipes where Charmaine Brennan, of course, you can grab her book too.
Oh, well, if I
Do you
may.
want a sandwich?
I mean, like, that's the one that I keep coming upstairs from the basement for and just having another bar, and another bar, and another bar.
Yeah, there you go.
I eat the peanut. Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
My absolute pleasure.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Of course, if you have an idea as well in our Your Morning Kitchen, you can email us yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca if you know of a great local chef or restaurant that we should feature. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass sky cam this morning. A beautiful sunny start to your day, but yes, we do have showers on the way later on this afternoon.
Welcome back, everybody. Right now, many shoppers are going out of their way to buy Canadian, even if the prices of those products are just a little bit higher. But some major grocery stores are being accused of so-called maple washing. CTV's Pat Foran explains.
You see them all over grocery store aisles and shelves, maple leaves, made in Canada labels, or signage urging you to buy Canadian. Dave, a Toronto shopper who asked us to hide his identity as he searches for misleading advertising, just noticed two questionable products.
We saw that a bag of onions were mislabeled and the green beans were also mislabeled.
Dave found green beans for sale marked as a product of Canada, but on closer inspection on the bag it says product of Guatemala. In another case, he saw a bag of red onions for sale, also sold as a product of Canada. Not the case. On the bag, it says product of Egypt.
We've seen many cases where the maple leaf was used to inflate prices, and frankly, a lot of products were labeled in a way that it was actually quite misleading.
Following complaints, a Quebec law firm has filed a class action lawsuit against major grocery chains, including Provigo, Sobeys, Metro, and Walmart.
This is actually false representation or false advertising.
Lawyer Joey Zucron says grocers are using false advertising to take advantage of consumers who want to support Canadian products.
The only conclusion is that it's to make profit and it's to take advantage of vulnerable consumers who are at a disadvantage vis-a-vis the information that the grocer has.
The class action seeks compensation for customers. Sylvain Charlebois says earlier in the year there was labeling confusion and adjustments required time, but he says by now mislabeling should be considered unacceptable.
There's just zero tolerance for this now.
Dave says he plans to keep looking for maple washing errors because he wants to support Canadian producers.
we personally want to support these local Canadian farmers, I want to make sure that the product I'm getting is actually from Canada.
The class action has been filed, but has not yet been authorized in courts. Pat Foran, CTV News.
What we are all looking at is George Street, the front of our building there, and look at the sunshine. We are holding on to those summer temperatures as long as we can before fall enters next week. We still got about 10 minutes more here on CTV Your Morning Ottawa. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Connect and celebrate Ottawa's summer one last time at the Metcalfe Plaza, an open-air social hub in the city. And it's such an incredible collaboration between the downtown BIA and community. And I've got right now with me Michael Dushimi with the downtown BIA and Anthony Jenkins. You guys have put this incredible space together. What a vibe. This is one of the new discoveries here in downtown Ottawa, and we got one last weekend to celebrate. Good morning to you both.
Morning.
Good morning. Okay, we had folks on earlier, a few weeks ago at the start of Metcalfe Plaza, but I want, for folks who don't know, describe Metcalfe Plaza. What is it all about?
That's me. So Metcalfe Plaza was a development site downtown Ottawa. It's been sitting empty for many years, and it's a good place for goats to go eat. There's an opportunity presented to take this space over and turn it into an urban park, a downtown space, a really amazing place where people can hang out and enjoy music, chill out for lunchtime, do all kinds of things.
I'm so glad that you all got together, Kevin and Michael. It must have been initially, this vibe, this youth vibe coming together with an established BIA. Were you at all intimidated to approach them or to work with them?
Not at all.
No, really?
No, not at all. So because we knew what was needed in the city, so if you've been there, there's also Pilates, you'll see family going there.
Love it.
And then you'll see dogs as well, just walking around, as well as live parties. So we connected with El Commune. They're from Montreal, and then they brought in the expertise of building, construction. And as you can see, if you go there, you see how beautiful it is.
Yeah, it's so great. Over the past few weeks, like you said, there will be Pilates or yoga in the morning. Then into the evening, there would be stalls and people selling art and so on and so forth. Then into the evening and into the night, there's some music, some grooving, which I love. And we're going to get a little sample of that. We've got our DJ here, Anthony Jenkins, who's going to spin some tunes for us. And what has it been like finding the right DJ to come in and play? How do you source them?
It's all part of the programming. We just want to make sure we highlight the locals and having the downtown BIA supporting us.
That's so good.
Kevin has been great. And also Mathieu Grondin from the Nightlife Commissioner, making sure that this project happens by supporting us. So it's been amazing. So now
so glad.
We're going to have the White Rabbit on Saturday to close down the party.
Come on now, you're going to close down the party?
Yes.
Why don't you start spinning a little tunes for us, just a little low so we can get a little taste. What else can we expect this weekend, the final weekend?
For sure. So Thursday we do have Concept Thursday open air that is coming in.
That's tonight.
That's tonight.
Nice.
Then Friday we do have our programming from Mama Chose. So also I will be DJing just
come on now.
little mark. So and then
DJing.
Saturday we do have a coffee party. So there will be no liquor. If you do not drink, you don't have
That's
to. So that's amazing. We want to include everyone as well. And then Saturday at night, jumping into the White Rabbit.
Okay, the White Rabbit. Why don't you start spinning just a little bit of tunes? I have a couple more questions, and then we're going to play it just a little bit here. But I wanted to ask you this. I went for my birthday, Metcalfe Plaza, and I loved it because I walked up. Great selection of drinks and beverages, and they also had mocktails.
Yes, we do.
Really nice.
Do. And we do have coffee as well available from Howell House. So
because you know what? When you got those sweet tunes playing, it's okay if you don't have a drink in your hand. You can still get jumping and grooving. We got DJ Anthony Jenkins here to play some tunes for us right now. This is a kind of vibe that you can expect at Metcalfe Plaza, the final weekend happening here. Kevin McHale from the downtown BIA and Michael Dushimi, thank you so much for coming by here. You know what? With this kind of music playing right here, you know what? I think we got to bring in the other host. That means we got to do a little moving and grooving here. This is a kind of feel. You guys got to get into it too. Come on. This is so amazing. This is so amazing. So we can expect this, Metcalfe Plaza, downtown. What are the corner streets again?
Metcalfe and Gloucester.
Metcalfe and Gloucester.
Yeah.
And this was a wonderful initiative. You guys really hit it out the park here. And then DJ White Rabbit?
Yeah, no.
Oh,
From White Rabbit.
Oh, what's it called? What's he called again?
Tone.
There you go. There you go.
Yo, Metcalfe Plaza, this is going to be our last song.
Oh.
Get in here. Get in here. Oh, yeah. We
There you go. There you go. Dear Bear's getting down, too. That's what we're talking about here. You're watching Your Morning Ottawa, and we are just moving and grooving. And you know what I love? I love it that we got our downtown VIA 2 getting into it and our other DJ dancing too. All right, so once again, this is the final weekend of the Metcalfe Plaza. You can move and groove this weekend. You don't want to miss it. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you right back here, 6 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Woohoo! The Jer hands.